Hey there, folks. Nicky D here talking. So the other crew from the MCA cannot hear me right now, and yeah, we had some more issues because XSplit is messed up yet again. I'm over here looking into the chat too. I see BBM saying "Yo," Max saying "Well, hello," and everything. So you guys are gonna see some backstage stuff right now. I'm actually basically going to go into a couple of windows to fix a couple of things because I had to use a new YouTube chat because the other one wasn't working. So got to get back into there. But yeah, this for sure, even if it starts working next week, this will be our last live show for at least a month until things can get back to normal. So guys, go nuts in the YouTube chat because this will be the last one we're doing for at least a month until they can get their fucking shit together, because I hate doing what we're doing right now. This shit's really fucking annoying. So here we go. This is on screen. I'm going to show my face so you don't see everybody else. And we got to change this. So let me see really quick here, folks. And I'll cut this out so when you see this later on, you won't see anything. My bad about this, folks, but we gotta do things the way we do them. It sucks. It's some poo-poo. Okay? Okay? Not fucking up again, god damn it, you! Oh, Adrian, you bitch. Okay, who do you see here? Aww. Oh, Gary has a sad face. No sad face, we'll be okay, baby. See, just put it over here, and basically, and this is almost like kind of showing you guys how this works. Yeah, I put this in behind. This is actually a transparent background. I put this down here, put it behind the shit, and there you go. Well, I mean, it looks kind of like shit. Let me fix something really quick. But yeah, it's not supposed to be a tutorial video, folks, but it is what it is. And then obviously, I have a window for the YouTube chat here. Pow, gotta get rid of that shit, and click. And then I do my thing with the layers here. Let me see. Just talking up a fucking storm. And there we are. Oh, look at that. It still looks like shit. But yeah, and it's not really technical issues, Jenny. It's just the tagging of it and everything like that. So anyways, guys, I'm actually going to pull something up really quick. Just to kind of let you guys know that we're still not here for a minute. Let me see. And now that ain't working. That's interesting. That sucks. Well, damn. Oh boy, folks, this is some interesting stuff. Some interesting developments here. Not even my playlists are working or anything. Let me go right back here. Boom, attack the chat. Now I am going to do something really quick. I just gotta like go back and tell everybody they're about to start. So just wait right here. I promise it'll be 30 seconds and then we'll be fine. It's not my fault, I promise. XSplit, they're probably going to be bought out by OBS because they're so fucking terrible. Anyways, I love you guys. Talk to y'all in a bit. Stay in the chat, goddammit. Rocky start. Rocky start. Rocky start. Oh, I probably had to edit this out of this episode in post. But yes, it was a rocky start. But we made it. We made it. We're live. Everything is okay. Hopefully, I don't want to say that. Something I was gonna fuck up. But Mr. Ganja Guru.
Don't worry about
everything's gonna be
fine. Everything's gonna be alright.
No. We will not go quietly into the night.
We will not. Hopefully not. I don't know. I know Allie's probably sick of all this fucking bullshit happening where nothing works.
Yo, if y'all keep talking about pizza with pineapple, I'm gonna have to make a hit list. I do not agree with the shenanigans that's going on in the DT and the YouTube chat about this army of pizza pineapple lover shit.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening? You motherfuckers
I'm
really
sorry,
don't have
but
shit
you
to
can't-
say for once.
You can't put fruit on pizza. You're not allowed to put fruit on pizza. And tomatoes don't fucking count.
Exactly.
God damn, man. And by the way, Mr. Rojo Bear, you should be telling people to shut the fuck up, Mr. Moderator. You gotta tell them to stop. I don't even know. Actually, don't. I love when people are fucking arguing.
He's a moderator for Children of the Toast?
Oh,
God
yeah.
rest your soul, man.
Yeah.
You have the toughest job in history.
How is it working with Sammy deleting every post that you probably make?
Wow.
I
Yo.
delete.
Everyone's sending the hate mail to him, and he's just like, man, I didn't delete that post about the fucking Jets, man. I don't give a fuck about football.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, people, we were
Well,
here.
not silence me, gotcha. Apparently, Matty A's fighting you in the DT chat.
Oh yeah, no, Matthias. Oh god, that's a fucking name for your ass. What's his name?
We call him Matt.
We'll just call him Matt.
Matthias Orifson. I love that name. That's great. And VPM's trying to calm down Adrian over here, which is great. Pineapple lives matter. No, they don't. I actually recently had.
Pineapple-
They matter just the right amount of like fairy lives and blight. All right, that's how I feel with that shit.
Okay, pineapples are only good for drinks.
No,
That's
recently.
the end of the list.
Oh no,
But
by
well,
the-
they taste good by themselves too.
of course. Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
well, it's all subjective. But I mean, I know that like, man, there was a pizza place that I fucking had. Recently, it was half cheese and half like a bunch of fucking toppings and everything on that shit. And the person
So
I ate
pizza?
that with, Alan, yeah, of course a fucking pizza. Like,
So
ha
pizza!
fucking ha. Like, god damn it. Like,
Hey, man, for the last, 3 months now since we left New York, we've been fighting over this pizza scenario where you just stared at it and judged it, didn't even take a bite and just left.
this one I took a bite out of, and I regretted it, just like I would have regretted it at the New York thing, because I would have just threw it right in front of y'all. I don't give a fuck about how you guys are gonna eat. Like, I'll just, like, I'll fucking puke.
Not all pizza is the same, dude.
Well, that one was a fucking pizza cracker. I don't like wet crackers. You're supposed to keep that shit away from something, and it was wet with cheese. I'm not even talking about that, by the way, either. You
You
jackass.
like Domino's. How dare you call that shit cracker with cheese when you eat the ultimate cracker and cheese, man?
Listen, the ultimate cracker and cheese is this motherfucker over here. But
That's just not even cracker. That is straight cardboard, bro.
Aw,
Are you talking about me or the pizza?
Talk about you a little bit.
yeah.
Okay.
Cracker? No, I'm just playing. No.
Saltine motherfucker.
Yeah. Wait, what? I don't even know what that was.
For the second time tonight, I'm on your fucking side. Stop fighting me.
No, the worst part is though when you have a pizza and literally it's the other toppings on the other half gets on your half and you don't know it. Like I think anybody can actually agree with me there, where you eating pizza and you taste something that you didn't know you were gonna taste. Like I'm sorry, but like that's the case with fucking soda or anything. Someone can be like, "Hey, it's Coke," and it's like Pepsi, and it's like, "Oh God!" Bleh. Like I was expecting that. Like, you know, no one else feels
No.
this way at all about food.
Not at
Oh
all.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, see, because she's
Damn it,
fucking
Allie.
normal.
We
Unlike
almost,
you
had
two.
we almost had a unanimous decision.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like when you're ordering a pizza and you order like just pepperoni or you order just cheese, and all of a sudden you taste a sausage in there, and you're like, I didn't ask for this. And I know that sounded terrible, and I know y'all are laughing because y'all are immature. But it's happened before, and I was not prepared, and I hated it. And
Oh,
Right.
God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
that's the
Allie.
last time I tried to talk on the show.
No, I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm
no.
so sorry.
I wasn't laughing until God just started laughing like a fucking child.
Hey, the first one was like, oh, okay, that was a little easy. And then she was like, no, I didn't like it. It was my first time. I was like, why? Why? You trying to kill me now?
The only thing she's gonna say next is like, and then my clothes are off with the pizza. It's like, wait, it doesn't even make sense now. Like now you're just being nasty. But
No, like it
I was
depends.
gonna
Like
say that to you.
if you go to the extremes like that, but like sometimes like if you ever have vegetarian pizza, that's just a bunch of random stuff on there. Like it's pizza. Like most of the time, you can't taste it over the cheese
well, no,
anyway,
I
unless
didn't
it's
mean it
really
just for pizza. I just
No,
meant for
you
general.
can. You especially if you like if you're used to having one particular style of pizza,
Right.
like with whatever toppings on it, and all of a sudden it tastes odd. You're like, yeah, there's something else in here, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Roger
So-
Bear chat saying regular crust, roast. What the fuck was I trying
Roast?
to say?
Roast?
Roast.
I-
Were you saying regular crust, thin crust, or pan pizza? Like Alan, what would you choose out of those three?
honestly, to me, it's like I don't know what the fuck pan pizza is, so I'll just go with the other two.
Pizza.
Okay, damn. But I like how he gave you
Okay.
a legitimate question and none of you guys answered the shit. Like,
Well,
what are the
God.
options?
I told him pizza. That's the one that does pan pizza.
No,
Okay, okay, then yeah, then it doesn't matter to me. I don't like stuffed crust pizza.
No.
Oh.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
some-
me neither.
For me, I prefer thin crust, but I do like pan only from Pizza Hut. But the thing is, Pizza Hut be slacking sometimes, and they don't barely cook that cheese. But if you get a good order where the chef actually cares about his job that day, man, that is great, delicious shit. I know it's greasy as hell, but it's fucking delicious.
It's pizza.
yeah.
No one's walking into Pizza Hut for their health.
And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the taste difference, brother.
Well, anyways, guys, I mean, we can do a show and everything, but I'm actually, I'll be right back. I'm gonna order me a pizza really quick.
Bullshit, you
but
are.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Hey,
Of
man,
course
let's
you
put it
are.
out. You know,
Why?
you gotta order pizza. I gotta call my pizza spot too, because I got the munchies like a motherfucker right now.
I had pizza earlier today.
God damn
Well,
you!
you've been getting on Ganja's ass about him eating like trash and eating pizza, and then you eating
Oh.
pizza?
right.
Okay, here's the difference between me and Ganja is that I space out when I have the unhealthy stuff. Ganja literally will have pizza 5 days in a row.
That was a bad week.
That's a lot of pizza, bro.
I
All
remember that week,
In my defense, all right. The only reason I went so ham on that piece of junk for a solid week, yeah, you're not lying. I literally went a work week of eating pizza, but the only reason I did that is because in Denver and fucking I think the girl, I forget her name right now, but the girl out here who lives in Colorado Springs also agrees with me. She's a fellow toasty, Julie. She agrees with me that there's no real good pizza out here in Colorado, man. If you try to actually find a spot out here that's not a chain restaurant, it is just fucking horrible. So luckily, I got a fucking spot recently that makes great New York style pizza where the sauce is red. Allie, they cook it nice and thin and crusty. You got the top of the sauce that makes it look a little red on top of the cheese. Shit's delicious, y'all. And I kind of developed a small addiction for about a
Come on,
week.
it's a smaller addiction. What the
Wait,
fuck?
we had to have an intervention for you on the 4th day.
Man, that happened. That happened to me
It
before.
almost happened again with Five Guys because I didn't know how good those fries and burgers was. I almost died of a cardiac arrest, no lie.
Another alley recommendation.
Yeah, I'm realizing
Okay.
like the pattern here, Allie. You're really killing this fucking dude.
Stop recommending people
Okay,
food.
it's not my fault that Ganja can't control himself by having it like 10 times in a row. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
By the way, too, she's
True.
also killing Alan by telling him that he can't go to Olive Garden. So that's another fucking thing we gotta get through.
I'm
Let me
not
go, and I don't
killing his
understand it.
pride. I'm not killing his actual like body. It's fine.
Just me. Just me.
Yeah, just Ganja.
Don't have Olive Garden in Canada. I've always wanted to go, but she won't let me.
All I know is I'm taking this man a Red Lobster next time I see him in Austin because we're going to eat some Red Lobster. We're going to have some lobster bisque with no lobster in it. Some additive shit.
Yeah.
We're going to eat some
Red
Caesar
Lobster-
salad. It's going to be great, Allie. You're going to enjoy
Red
it.
Lobster always had my back because when we were going to and from in New York, we the only way I knew how to get back was we're recognizing the areas around us, and there was a Red Lobster like right beside us. So that's how I knew we were going the right way. I just saw it. I'm like, Red Lobster always has my back.
Yeah, Jen in chat, she's saying, Allie should suggest Ganja eating some fucking bricks. I heard they're good for you. Yeah, they actually are good for you, especially if we're in the sequel to Home Alone.
Hey, I would not be assaulted by a woman who denies her love for pizza and I catch her sneaking 3 slices in Austin. Fuck out of here.
At the same time.
Oh, yeah, that is
Yup.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit talking about my food habits. Me like, I don't eat food. I don't like this. I catch her.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But
But,
okay.
well, I'm looking here. CJ Grace, haven't seen CJ in a long time, dude. Welcome back. Or maybe I just don't pay attention.
CJ!
Oh, boy. He's done a lot of
Catch
music
up
for
with
us.
the goddamn train, CJ.
No, he's actually done a lot of music for us and a lot of things like that. So, hey, dude,
Yeah.
love to see you back over here. You're saying
Been a while.
chicken parmigiani is like godlike from Olive Garden or Parmigiani. Did I say that shit
Want to try
wrong?
that? Please try that again for the audience.
I do not want to try that again because
Yeah,
I say enough bad
audience.
things. I'm an idiot. I know. I'm stupid, people. I can't talk right. But chicken parmigiani, I don't give a fuck. No, fuck you. All right. That's
Parmesan.
Chicken parmigiani. Okay.
the way he
Parmigiani.
wrote it. The way he wrote it. God damn.
Parmigiani. That sounds like some new shit, man. Like you get like some hibiscus flowers on it or some kind of shit. Like some new.
We're
like
gonna make
something.
people fucking eat a lot tonight.
Chicken Parmesan is like so good. Especially from Olive Garden.
Depends on where you go, Allie. You ever gone to a place like at 9 o'clock at night, been a little drunk, maybe not drunk, but trying to get some food in a rush and just like order chicken parmesan? It's just a slab of cheese on it and just some red sauce.
Yeah, don't go to like the local Italian places for that. Most likely that's how it's going to be. Honestly, like Olive Garden usually makes it consistently, or Macaroni Grill. I hate to say it because those are chain restaurants, but they actually do make some great chicken parmesan. I still remember the time when I went over to Disney World in Epcot, and they have, the World Showcase with all the different countries, and I went to Italy. And we went to the Italian restaurant, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have chicken parmesan. This is gonna be great. You can have it real Italian style." They literally gave me a chicken wing with some cheese on it, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "What?"
And I'm looking at the chat
Is it
too.
real?
The chat, man. Sorry about that, Alan. I know I got it on you, my bad. But man, Adrian, what the fuck's wrong with you, girl? God damn it! Like, Adrian's showing some awful things in the chat, showing the pizza dude over there with the fucking.
Now that is good chicken parmesan, my friend.
Oh, yeah, some terrible stuff. And then over here, it's gold. Actually, doesn't look too bad for people who like that shit. I don't like that shit. But,
that is delicious, my friend.
No, it's
That
so
looks pretty
good.
good, honestly.
It's just chicken with sauce and with like tomato sauce and cheese on top.
It's a glorified nugget.
But here's the thing: we're gonna actually get into the show because it's gonna be a long one, and we don't want to make this too long. I mean, I think the pizza was actually the most interesting thing we had to fucking talk about. And yes, I'm gonna be completely transparent with a lot of things. First off, one big announcement: this for the month will probably be, except for the Facebook show and except for maybe the wrestling show, this is definitely gonna be our last live show because XSplit just doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and I can't keep planning all day to do something and then literally all my work went to shit because the tags and description I busted my ass doing and it meant nothing. So yeah, like I'm just not gonna do it anymore. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do these shows earlier on the day. Hopefully we're able to, because I know people got to work and everything, and shit, if something happens we'll just do it the day before. I don't know, but when we do it though, we'll post it at 7:30 CST. So as soon as the high score is done, come and watch us. And the biggest thing, like I said before in our show a couple of days ago when everything went to shit on the midweek, yeah, we really like take pride in just us being able to talk with you guys a lot. So make sure to leave comments, things like that, so we can respond. And the biggest thing too is like somehow get involved in the show, because yeah, like with the live chat, we're not gonna be able to get you guys' opinions, and that's just how we do this shit. So, I mean, it's gonna suck, honestly. I'm not gonna,
The Amino.
Oh no, and then the Amino too. No, for real, we're gonna do the Amino. That's the thing that I really want you guys to be involved in too. And a big thing too is the Facebook stuff, because hey, without the live chat here, the only time you'll get a chance to do live chat is with Mr. Ganja Guru and Alan over here. So, Mr. Ganja Guru, why don't you tell them how to do that, sir, while I stall, because I don't prepare for shit.
Well, get that stalling, boy, because I'm always going to go through this nice little advertisement that we've been doing for almost, 5 months now, Alan, since we've been doing the Untitled Video Game Show, guys, on the Facebook page, where you guys can come to watch me and Alan play some games, talk about some video game news, have interesting conversation. The recent episodes, we even got the famous Jess Jackson to come on and talk about Nintendo Direct, which, it's hard to capture. She's like a rare Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. She really is.
I don't know why, but I got this fucking cough in my throat. It's not coming out, so it sounds like I'm Chewbacca right now, but bear with me, y'all. So make sure to check us out. It's the Untitled Video Game Show. We do it every Friday, 7:30 CST. We're trying to get more on time with the time. We were 30 minutes late, maybe 45 minutes late last time. So I'm going to start letting you guys know. Hey, by the way, Alan, leave and come back because you got the Jennies. Yeah, I'll talk to you later, brother. Anyways, about the game show, guys. So make sure to hit us up, 7:30 CST time. Now I'm gonna start letting you guys know if something happens, technical difficulties, problems setting up. We'll let you know ahead of time if we're gonna cancel the show, because I don't like leaving you guys hanging, and I've been doing the last few times that we have to cancel the show. And Alan, let the people know about the after hours if you don't sound like Mr. Robot.
Lord, I have no idea. We'll have like an 18-hour conversation through the Hangouts, and as soon as the live show starts, that's when shit fucks up. But anyway, so because of last week we did, we watched Scarface, and people stayed for the whole 3 hours of that movie. We're just gonna do a regular, just chill and just whatever people want to chill and just watch. If someone does have a movie recommendation in the chat, just throw it up there. If it's not too stupid or too difficult to find, we'll definitely watch it. But there's no real plan, so just come in and just hang out.
Yeah, man, and by the way too, like when we do that, freaking, if you guys have any suggestions, I would say get them ready now, so when we actually do go around and pass remote, you guys are not like, I don't know, I mean, just give me it. It's like, really think about it. Maybe you guys can discuss in the YouTube chat what you guys want to watch or whatever too. So yeah, we'll do that. Oh yeah, and actually I agree with the hashtag. No. Jet says hashtag make Alan watch Slam and Salmon. I want to make Alan watch.
Motherfucker, I watched Shark Exorcist last night with that bitch. I don't know what the fuck y'all problem was. That movie was not that bad. Me and Allie were giggling our ass off. I was also
crazy.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. But it's hilarious.
Nah, I'm good, man.
Where does the nun? Can somebody explain to me where the nun comes from? Because that bitch just appears in the
nowhere.
first act. Like, Allie, you don't get the context, but in the first act, she's like the one that summons the fucking shark. But she disappears throughout the whole movie. She's not like the shark anymore, so there's no reason to show her. But the last minute, she just comes up and stabs this bitch out of nowhere. So, Nick, you saw this movie, right? Like maybe once or twice? Because you left like halfway through, but I think you saw this before, right?
No, I actually didn't. I saw the trailer before, and I really wanted to watch it.
You fucking pussy.
No, I had to leave because I was doing like some other shit. I can't really say on the air, but yeah, I was doing
Okay,
some
alright.
very important stuff.
No.
All right, you get an excuse. This motherfucker leaves under 5 minutes. He got no excuse.
Okay,
Yeah.
I watched 15 minutes of that garbage, and I said never again. And I'm glad that it wasted an hour and a half of my life like you fucking did.
Me and Allie did 2 tours of Vietnam, bitch. Where were you?
I was at home.
Protesting, doing LSD, listening to the Beatles and shit.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Fuck you.
No, but like that's the thing. And by the way, too, I just want to let people know as well. These rules still kind of, had to do it. We don't know. There's so much topics here, guys. You guys can see like we're gonna have to get through this shit really, really fast. So I mean, I'm not gonna promise like I'm gonna bring people onto the show, whatever the fuck. Especially if there's like mic issues, like when Jenny has issues. Or
Shit, we
whatever.
got technical problems here. How the hell are we gonna
Yeah.
just fix someone else's camera issues and mic issues? Not right now.
Yeah, I can't do it. So I mean, we'll see if something really does come up and like whatever. Maybe just message one of us or whatever, and we'll see what we can do. But aside from that, we are going to go through the rules still, and these do apply because Jenny actually mentioned in the chat earlier, and she asked us a question. She said, is there a slight chance that when we do these shows, we can do like a recording with somebody and rotate them out? We can't rotate them out during the actual show because no one. I mean, we only know if people are going to be available or not. You know what I mean? But maybe we can do something where if you guys do see like a topic that we're going to discuss or you guys talk to us, maybe if something fits, we'll bring you on and you can be like, hey, our guest. You know what I mean? You guys can come on and do something with us.
Maybe we could do something with the Amino by letting you guys know that we're about to go live, and if we see some topics or some suggestions or some conversation you guys want to have with us that seems interesting or something we could do over the air, we could probably invite you guys on. But the rules still fucking apply, Nick, because I know you've been building up to that motherfucker. Show that shit.
Yeah, it's on.
This is my last time for a month, y'all. This is like a heroin addict getting that last good hit before he quits. So, rule number 1, newcomers, join the call first, y'all. We're all about those new, fresh smelling faces. Make sure to hit that Amino up if we're going to do that in the future so you can let us know about some conversation. You're a new timer, want to talk to us, hang out, get on the show, and just have some fun with us. So, rule number 2, to keep you guys from just fucking up, rule number 1, do not talk over each other. We are a planned show that includes certain topics conversation. If y'all just rambling and yelling over each other, just ruins conversation. Rule number 3, please no nudity. Now that it's going to be pre-recorded, this one can be quickly edited out, but still, we don't want flash no titties and no dick, especially that our audience is predominantly fucking men. We don't need that shit in our lives. Take that chatterbait. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link, because I don't think we're doing a live show anymore, so...
Yeah, I don't know. Why would you do that? I mean, at this point.
Yeah, you're pretty much a dick if you do that. If you're like, hey, come on to the show.
Hilarity.
Man, fuck you. Don't encourage them. So rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. Rule number 5, read the rules. And Alley Girl, give me a big old dick for the last time.
Wait, a dick?
What?
Oh, I am writing this down for the year 3 edit.
Shut up. Alley, just give it to me.
Nah,
Yeah, give it
you already said it enough.
Oh.
What a
I'm
fuck.
I'm going to go shoot.
And that's the show, folks.
So is our main host going to come back, or am I going to take
I'm
over
sorry,
now and
I'm
talk
so
about
sorry,
Nintendo
dude.
Direct?
I literally got tears. Holy shit.
I would love to run a show about Nintendo because I could just be blasphemous about it and talk shit how it's just constant remakes and redos and whatnot.
No, because you'll be saying the same thing I want to say, Mr. Ganja Guru. Go ahead. Tell these people some fucking sense.
Yo, I love it. Nick has been defending Nintendo since I met him, talking about original gaming, original characters. Shut up, you. This is my spotlight now. Now that he saw the new direct and it's all the same fucking characters we've seen since the fucking 80s and 90s, now he sees the light. All there is maybe a few little gameplay mechanics that are new only because people are starting to do them now. But in a couple days, they're going to be niched just like that fucking Nintendo pet shit. But I refrain from that little rant. It is the same shit over and over again. If the Switch wasn't just a fun mobile device, it wouldn't succeed. It is literally nostalgia of the console.
No, it really is. And Alan, I heard you're trying to.
Oh my god! I can't
Oh no, I'll add in my points when y'all are done.
Okay, because the thing that I want to say is a big thing that was frustrating to me is, look, the one thing I've been arguing with the Ganja because I do think they did original. I gotta make sure.
No, I'm just laughing the way you said that. The reason I've been arguing with the Ganja.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm fucking stupid. I'm tired of shit.
Batman.
It's been a long day. But the thing is like, yeah, like, the reason why I've been arguing with you this entire time is because of the fact that, like, yeah, even when you say things like, oh, like, original content, they don't got original content. Well, it's because they created so much original content as a foundation that it's just building on what they've already created. They don't need to create anymore because they already did it. But now, they're not even doing that. I'm sorry, guys, and I'm really trying to find the fucking still where it shows it. I mean, I'm just going to show this just for any kind of regular visual reference. But this is an HD version of something else. And again, on top of Okami over here, Dark Souls. I know that people like their Dark Souls. I get it. And I know that I'm not a big fan of it, and it is what it is. But, motherfucker, dude, that is old. You couldn't do Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne? You couldn't do anything that slightly makes any logical fucking sense for this new console. I mean, you can play Doom, and everyone's fucking woohoo about Doom on the Switch. But Dark Souls, that we're supposed to be excited for that when we got so much better shit that came out last fucking year? Are you kidding me? This is terrible.
And I'll jump in on that because, yeah, actually, as far as, like, you know, I'll disagree with what Gon's saying because that's how our relationship works. But I will agree with you on, like, the Okami and Dark Souls. Like, I really don't really care about that kind of stuff. Like, and I like Dark Souls 1. I played it a bunch and I've beaten it, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's really kind of an older game where it's like, I honestly can't really think of why they would even want to add that. But it's one of those things where I will always appreciate Nintendo because they can keep an IP alive forever. Because it's like a lot of these IPs have been around since before I was born, and a lot of them will out fucking live me, you know. And it's like I'll always want to get them because I'm always gonna find something interesting with them. Like I didn't watch the direct because honestly, a lot of times like they're really short, so I don't really care. But I feel like they do them so often through the year. There's like 4 or 5 directs a year, and it's so that they don't have a situation where people are overhyping themselves for an hour press conference that they'll be like, well, there was really anything there. It's these little spots so that people don't overhype what's going on. And to me, the most interesting thing in that direct was definitely seeing Smash finally get an announce. We knew it was going to come out, but now we finally, okay, we know what's going to happen. It's going to have some Splatoon characters. It's going to have Breath of the Wild Link in there. And I honestly can't fucking wait. I still play Smash 4. Like, I have Smash 4 on my 3DS right now. And I fucking love it. So I'm like, I can't wait to see Smash continue. Another 4 years of Settle It in Smash. Like, and I know a lot of people are interested in those kinds of things. So when you kind of look at the direct, it's like pick out what you're interested in. Because in the YouTube videos, they do the tags as well. They're like, hey, this is where we're talking about this. This is where we're talking about that. It's like,
oh, it timestamps and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's basically for the people like us where it's like, man, I don't have 3 hours to watch this fucking stream. Oh, this is a 30-minute chunk? Okay, cool. Let me check it out.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I agree with in that sense where the way they did this, you know, was good and for the viewer. But yeah. It's like, I mean, I know they're waiting for E3. I know E3's coming out, what, 2 months or something like that, too?
Yeah. These are small little, like, hey, these are small little, like, it's like a palate cleanser. Here's appetizers for the year. The big shit's going to happen in, like, 2 months, you know?
Yeah, but the thing that frustrates me is, like, the Super Smash Bros. Thing, and I mean, I know this is probably unpopular opinion, but it's like, they don't need another one right now. You know, and they also certainly don't fucking need to come out with a trailer at the very, very end and not tell if it's a port or a sequel. And I know you're gonna say, "What's a sequel?" Because 5 years, blah blah blah. The fact that they don't say it though is really frustrating because it can easily be a fucking sequel because it should have not came out on Wii U. It should have been on Nintendo Switch. Something this big, Nintendo Switch, they knew was coming out. They knew behind the scenes that they're working on this. Why the fuck would you make it for a console that is complete trash and that's about to go down the shitter right before the Nintendo Switch? The sales were not good. Like, why would you do that? That does not make no fucking business sense at all.
Because Nintendo don't give a fuck. They go straight ahead no matter if it makes sense or not.
Well, the funny thing is, it's like, the Wii U, it undersold like fucking crazy. But what they did, and for the first time since they did that, is they did a simultaneous release, like same day type thing, of the 3DS and the Wii U version. So when the Wii U version came out, people were probably like, what the fuck? Like 5 people own a Wii U. That drove sales of the console. Like, people bought it for that because people love the game so much. It's like, you know, imagine if Mortal Kombat was exclusive to a system no one ever heard of. Like, people would buy that because of how much they love the game. And the 3DS already sold like fucking 50 million copies at that point. So it's like, it made sense for them to release at that point. And I think it was like, what, year 2 or year 3 of the Wii? And like, it was a year and a half before it was going to die, but it still drove sales of both the 3DS and the Wii U console. And yeah, it's kind of has been about enough time. And I get what you mean. Like, you know, the Smash was like, yeah, they're not inventing the wheel to like the crazy degree, like something like, you know, Tekken would do, you know, between Tekken 1 and Tekken 7. But it's one of those things where it's reigniting the fan base. It's reigniting the fans. It's adding characters in and removing characters that people don't really play that often. It's going to have the whole new voting system like they did with the last one. So like, there's a lot of things to be excited for.
You know, one thing I want to bring up too is like, it's not just about the Smash thing, but always being behind. This shit over here with Undertale. Like, this is an old fad. This is something that no one, people gave a fuck slightly at the end of 2015 and beginning of 2016. I get that, but it's been 2 years, or exactly 2 years now. I was trying to be nice saying a year and a half, no, 2 years. and it's like, what the fuck? And then another thing too, with the Dark Souls thing, that's old. And South Park Fractured But Whole, like, for one, that's been old, like, for 6 months now. Like, we're kind of already past that. And on top of the fact that people liked it because it was a new South Park game, and it wasn't like, oh my god, it's the greatest game. I mean, like, the sales on that game, or the prices of that game, are already down because they're like, yeah, no one wants to play this. It only works when it's fucking brand new.
Right.
So it just kind of doesn't make sense to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, that was something that really frustrated me too because PS4 just did this.
I'm actually happy for that, man. I want more remakes of the old PS1 games. I think they're worth it, the graphical upgrade.
Yeah, because they didn't just sit there and up-res it. They basically built the game,
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, just people in the chat. I mean, I know Jet saying I still haven't played Undertale, so I'm fine with this, and I haven't played Undertale myself either.
Man, I bought Undertale so I play that shit. 90s gets on my ass all the time for that.
Yeah, I'm with Ganja. I think I have it on Steam, but I've never touched it.
Right now, 90s just screaming at you somewhere from the distance. You know that.
Hey, he does. No. He's not screaming at me because I went and I beat Ori in the Blind Forest in like 2 sittings, so he can't be mad at me.
Never mind.
But no, but like to be on the topic and everything, like when it comes to these games, I just feel like when you have a console that didn't have a ton of great launch games, and after your launch you had a few great games like Super Mario Odyssey and things like that.
Yeah.
You actually got some shit going on. Why the fuck would you not capitalize that in the second year? And I know they're going to release things and news announcements, shit like that in E3, but like this was 30 minutes of complete and utter like same old shitism. Like same with the Mario Tennis thing. Why did I get so much time? That was a 10-minute like announcement while everything else had like 2 minutes or a minute and a half. Like that was crazy. That was crazy for tennis. Like really?
And that's the thing. Like I get what you're getting at, and I love Mario Tennis. Honestly, to me, Mario Tennis, like money. It's already out of my pocket and running away from a new Mario Tennis because it's a lot of fun. Like I don't like those whole realistic simulation tennis things. It's like boom boom. Like the Mario stuff, it's a lot of fun just seeing your favorite Mario characters and seeing kind of the cool, kind of crazy visuals that they do. They're always a lot of fun. They're party games. That's what Nintendo's been doing since the dawn of creation. As far as like a lot of the samenism, it's like I think that they're basically trying to just keep people interested with the little things here and there. Like, hey, a bunch of these heavy hitters, a bunch of these really really good games that people love are coming. These darlings are coming to this console to kind of keep you going because they know a lot of the heavy hitters aren't going to come out for a while. They want to make sure people are still interested because they learn with the Wii U. It's like, yo man, we're having a little bit of time trying to keep this going, and we're releasing heavy hitters, but people are getting bored. So it's like let's kind of try to do a mix of that, but. To kind of again agree with you, Nintendo has a really bad idea of how much time to give certain things because they did this with Breath of the Wild where they just had like an hour and a half of Breath of the Wild where it's like you really didn't need to have that much. Like They don't know how to sparse their time properly.
I completely agree with that. And one thing that kind of made me laugh too watching this is seeing this screen saying Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition when, and I was like, when I first saw that, I got really pissed off. And they tell you when, it's like it's just there, whatever the fuck. But like when I saw the pop up, I was like, "You're gonna announce a question? What the fuck?" I started screaming, and then they told you. But
hey man, make sure to check out Ganja Studios. Was an Apple and video game, man. It's gonna be a great hit when it comes to.
They say was an Apple and video game? What?
Exactly.
No, but moving on, and I'm going to start off with Allie on this one because the thing is, me and her are probably going to enjoy watching this more than anybody else because we're just going to fuck around and talk shit the entire time. Allie, Luke Cage, Season 2, was this not a hype fucking trailer?
Oh, man.
Man. I have no interest in. I'll only watch Luke Cage with you guys and just sing the theme song like we always do. But otherwise, I'm not watching this by myself. I did not really enjoy Luke Cage. I thought it was just a little bit too campy for me. The actors are, I guess, okay. I say that because I feel like Misty Knights she's all right. But everyone else, yeah, sure. But yeah, other than that.
I mean, to be fair, I would say I'm curious to see where it's going to do connecting, Iron Fist and everything yet again, because they said that Iron Fist is going to be in the show. I know, like, Alan's like, oh, yes, people that represent me. Yay.
Okay, fuck off, motherfucker. I have my fucking reasons for why I think Iron Fist would be interested in this. Not because of white privilege, you asshole.
Yeah, I know, I'm just being a dick. But I mean, like, and actually, I mean, look, we all know that we're all going to talk shit about this and then we're all going to hate it. And we already kind of said this the other day, but on more of a positive flow because there's a lot of negativity that's going to be on this fucking show today. So I really want to just stay on some kind of positive anything. So with that said, why do you think that Iron Fist could actually help the show up the quality?
It's because one of those things where it's like when you watch the kind of the 30-second teaser, like Luke Cage in here talks more than he's ever talked in his entire like Luke Cage career. It is so weird. He spends most of his trailer talking, and it's like he's talking a lot, and it's like it threw me off because like usually when he's in even in his own show, he says a few words here and there, and it's usually the rest of it the cast that's kind of getting the scenes going, and he says a few words here and there. This he's talking through the whole time, so it kind of just threw me off because I wasn't really ever used to the character emoting that much.
Get paid, black man. Get paid.
I laughed my fucking ass off. That's the most random non sequitur, man. But having Iron Fist in there because in the Defenders, I hate Iron Fist. Iron Fist is probably the worst of them. But seeing those two together, it's like they both kind of suck and they just cancel each other out. So every time they're on screen, I'm like, yo, you guys just cancel out how bad you are and actually make something kind of interesting.
It's really funny. I think of it that way. Like, I actually really like that. No, I mean, it makes sense. Like, mathematically, that makes perfect fucking sense.
Mathematical.
It's just funny. Yeah,
Their fight scenes are good together. Like, they really know how to fight. The choreography between the two of them when they're on screen is really cool. So I kind of just want to see them, just, go through crime, go through the town, beating the shit out of as many people as possible. Just have some fun with it, because I think that both of them kind of work well together. I'd rather just, instead of an Iron Fist Season 2 and Luke Cage Season 2, just have them both in one season,
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. And I normally, what I would get to this point, I'd be like, hey, Mr. Ganja Guru, what do you think? But he didn't watch shit, and I don't think he's gonna watch shit.
I watched Luke Cage with y'all. No, I didn't watch Luke Cage with y'all. I watched it by myself, and I thought it was enjoyable to a certain degree until it just became Friday at the end, and I just took off a lot of points.
But
it's not my internet; it's my throat this time.
Of course, thank God. And yeah, for me, I'm just gonna say what the fuck you guys know what I'm gonna say. It's like I fucking hate Luke Cage Season 1. If it was a movie, it'd be up there with like literally. I know Alan's gonna be like, oh, that's where you go hyperbolic, Nick. Oh, you always fucking yell and scream and the whole thing. No, like I'm sorry, but Luke Cage is literally one of the worst fucking things I've ever fucking seen. I hate this fucking show. Like literally, when you're in love and like your heart just grows for something, and you just smile. I feel the same way, but in a hatred version for Luke Cage. When I think about it, I can't stop. I hate that fucking thing. And, like, literally my heart...
So you want to hate fuck Luke Cage?
Almost.
Apparently.
It's really weird. Like, it's almost like a challenge that he's bulletproof. I want to stick my bullet in the guy. But, no, I don't know. I fucking... Like I said, dude, it's just like, for me... That whole excuse of blaxploitation constantly. Oh, it's blaxploitation. No, the show did not tell you that in the fucking trailers. You're saying it's blaxploitation because that's your way of thinking. Oh my god, this is so fucking ridiculous. It has to be on purpose. No,
right?
Like it's fucking terrible. And Adrian says, "Have you seen Iron Fist?" I hate to do this because I always get on Alan nowadays. I'm like, you gotta watch stuff for the show. I cannot watch Iron Fist. I'm not gonna watch Iron Fist.
Oh, I'm happy for that. I sat through 13 episodes of Iron Fist. I was basically kind of in our hangouts. I was basically reviewing every episode, and Trey was just word for me. He texted me. He's like, "Man, are you okay, dude? It's like you're losing your fucking mind watching the show. Yeah. It's so bad. Nobody should watch Iron Fist. Like, watch the Defenders. That sums up Iron Fist.
Yeah, and I can't do that. I mean, I
don't blame you.
Yeah,
I think y'all fucking up and should let white man and black man get paid. Let them get paid.
Let white men get paid more so. But yeah, man, like I said, with Luke Cage, it's just the bad CGI already and him talking, and I was like, I remember saying he was boring in the first one, like, oh, he's so impersonable, he fucking sucks, and then the second one he starts talking, I'm like, oh, that's why I didn't let him fucking talk, because he's a fucking big dummy and he's horrible and very uncharismatic. Like it's so fucking. It's so disingenuous. Like, I'd rather fucking watch Sammy do a speech. It's fucking ridiculous. But anyways.
But that's the thing. That's why I kind of think that having Iron Fist would help balance it out. Because, like, you have Iron Fist doing the talking and then have Luke Cage kind of reacting and then vice versa,
Yeah, I guess. And Raheem, you're right. I cannot relate to a blue. I can't relate to a regular black guy. You hear my voice? Hello, guys. Like I'm Mr. Picket Fence. Anyway.
Oh, Lord.
Welcome to the show.
I'm gonna start using that as somebody, when they're talking shit to me, like, yo, man, I'm gonna talk shit to me, Mr. Picket Fence ass, Prius driving motherfucker.
Fucking stupid. But yeah, moving on, Oscar roundup. Now this is where we're gonna get even more negative, etc. But Allie won.
Yay!
Whatever. Okay, this is cool. Jordan Peele actually winning. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. But
yes.
Everything else, especially this motherfucker right here, Shape of Water winning. What the fuck, man?
Ooh,
What
Hey
the
man,
fuck?
people love themselves some grinding Nemo, bro. That shit's just
Grinding
contact
Nemo?
for people.
I refuse. I will never watch a Guillermo del Toro movie after that. That is some bullshit. Him winning Best Director and Best Film, go fuck yourself, buddy. That is not deserved either of those.
Yo, it is. You want to talk about nostalgia? Hollywood has become Nintendo of fucking movies now because this is just a remake of all those old horror movies like Swamp Thing and trying to do fancy allegories and shit and whatnot. That apparently Ali told me doesn't even make sense in the movie. Like, yeah, you can project it, but apparently it's not even there.
Yeah, I mean, God, like, I knew it was gonna win when I fucking saw when you walked into the movie theater. I was like, this is how it's going to fucking barely make it if it does. I will say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, because Allie, I know you're upset about this, but it beat off fucking Call Me By Your Name. It's gone. Call Me By Your Name did not win. I'm so happy.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I literally woke up maybe like 2-3 hours after Oscars and I looked at my phone. All right, who won? Call Me Maybe didn't win. All right, going back to bed. Talk to the morning.
But I mean, like, Allie, your reaction to Double Toasted Crew reading your comments, you were going off in the chat when this happened.
Man, I was surprised it won Best Picture. I could understand Guillermo del Toro winning for Best Director because technically he made a great film.
Mm-hmm.
Technically. But for, like, overall Best Picture, I thought a lot of the other nominees were much more, I don't know, deserving of that award than The Shape of Water. I hate to, Guillermo del Toro because I do feel like he is a very creative director and he has a lot of interesting ideas. It's just I don't think the execution was done well, and I just don't think that there's just no depth to the characters really. I mean, except for all the surface stuff about the main character being mute and her friend being gay and whatever. But other than that, there really wasn't a lot for me to grasp onto or to really identify with any of these characters. So so I just didn't understand how The Shape of Water won. I don't understand it. Sometimes the Oscars are like that. You remember when Crash was won Best Picture? What was it over? Saving Private Ryan? Or was that another year?
I hope
that was another
It
year.
was over another movie that was everyone was like, why the heck did this not win? I'm sure that someone in the chat will tell us. Yeah. But yeah. Call Me by Your Name did win Adapted Screenplay, so I'm like, okay, I'll take my victory. Screenplay is still a really important.
Yeah, but that's for the DVD box. That's not something people go parading around like a motherfucker.
All right, hey, you know what? It counts.
I'm gonna break you up the kneecap some way, goddamn.
By the way, Allie, I think the big thing you're trying to refer to was this whole situation. Crash beating Brokeback Mountain. Was that it?
Whoa, was it
was that the one, or was it music?
Okay, thank you guys. Yeah. So, I don't understand that either.
Well, look at Raheem. Okay, Raheem, that's a fucked up thing to say, bro. God damn. He
That's what he
goes,
said.
mute girls give good head.
What does that mean?
This is why men can't. This is why girls are going lesbian, because dudes fucking think like that. That's fucked up.
Hey, Red Robot's got a point, man. They lost one of their senses, so all they got is the sense of touch. So, man, just think about it, though. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Ali.
First of all, talking isn't a sense.
Yeah, that's true. Science and common sense, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man, I fuck you. Sight is a sense. It's one of the 7 senses, I think, right? Align with your chakra.
Fine, first of all,
Align with your chakra and whatnot.
that's 8. You suck at this.
I'm trying to dig myself in the hole. Stop pulling me back in, goddammit.
Well, based on your logic,
Get
here's a
the
fork.
fuck off me!
Based on your logic, here's a fork to help you fucking dig that tunnel.
Motherfucker's a crowd, man. God damn.
You fucking
Let
you
a brother
fucking fell
fly.
deep,
You
dude.
too, Nick? Let a brother fly, goddammit.
You fucking fell so deep. Just kept fucking tripping. But yeah, dude, I can't even fucking continue.
Anyway, back to the Oscars.
Yeah, the Oscar. Well, I mean, and this is old school shit, but it's just yeah, you're right though with the whole. I honestly do not understand how Crash beat Brokeback Mountain. I don't even fucking like Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
So that's insane to me. But you don't think that this is as extreme as that though, right, Allie? Or...
Yeah, okay, it's not as bad as Crash, but
okay.
I just felt like other movies were kind of just had more, complexity to them that I feel like Academy would go crazy over. I thought Three Billboards was shoo-in to win for a long time. So, and if anything else would have won, it would have been Call Me by Your Name. I know y'all have feeling some type of way about that movie, but that was what was talked about for a long time. So this to just come out of nowhere and just like, hey, yeah, Shape of Water. I'm like, oh, okay.
I was mad when that happened, man.
I mean, I was mad because of my own personal hatred, but it's like for what Best Picture is, because every Best Picture movie is fucking stupid at a certain point. Like, I'm sorry. How was War for the Planet of the Apes? And I didn't even watch War for the Planet of the Apes, but like all the good things I've heard about it, it was like I've heard more good shit about that than any of these movies on this list except for Get Out. And I don't
you got a point, Nick, and I hate to interrupt you, but you got to admit it yourself, man. This is just a day of pretentious movies as far as I'm concerned with the Oscars this year.
Except for Get Out.
Get Out was like maybe the only mainstream hit that had like mainstream appeal and was able to get onto more of the surface level than just people like, yo, man, check out this Oscar DVD I got for my fun. It was really just like the hoity-toity Oscars thing. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I missed it because I heard they did a lot of Me Too shit, and it was like more disingenuous of an Oscar this year because of it.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, man. Like some of these situations, I mean, it was cool to see Jordan Peele finally get something. I mean, I think this is like the first time even. Oh, what was it?
Yeah,
he was nominated. Well, yeah, it's his first film. It's his first feature film. So for him to get nominated and win, that's pretty amazing. Especially because he came from like a Comedy Central television show, like to winning an Academy Award. That is an amazing like accomplishment, and like because usually the Academy just overlooks people like him, like just because of his background, not because of his race. But you know, because of like he came from a comedic background, so it's really awesome, and I think that gives inspiration to a lot of people that might be in the same boat and they want to transition, but they just feel like they won't be, you know, taken seriously. And this shows like, yeah, you can be, and if you're extremely talented, it will definitely show.
Yeah, Rojo Bear is saying the Star Wars skit was cringy as hell. Yes, it so was. That shit was fucking bad. It was awful. And yeah, Mercino, he says he feels so dumb for not getting what's so good about Three Billboards. And I agree with you. I think that movie is a great movie for characters, but for a film and for how long that fucking thing is, yeah, I don't think it was that
I love your reaction to all the Oscar film endings because they were all ones that you could interpret it.
Yeah, every single ending except for Get Out. And it's like, here's the thing. I don't like Get Out. I'm not kissing that movie's ass like every fucking buddy else. But that movie really was not that good, and yet it was the best one out of
It was the one that was an honest to God like film that I would go see in the theaters.
Yeah, it's fucking insane to me. And yeah, like, and one thing I will say too in a positive light is that, you know, two horror movies made it to even be nominated for the Best Picture stuff. Well, Shape of Water I think is one. By the way, do you count that as a horror movie? Because I do.
No,
that's not a horror movie, dude.
No.
That's a love story.
It's a love story about that creature.
Yo, that's the thing. Like everyone's saying that, but from all the people that I watch that do movie reviews and shit, or movie analytics and shit, they're talking about that it's apparently a romantic horror film, like I guess you would say Phantom of the Opera and shit like that, or like that shit.
Well, I get because of the creature, but I didn't think he did anything in the movie to warrant him being extremely scary.
He
ate a cat, okay,
and then scratched a dude.
But it wasn't enough to like make. I mean, it is horrific, but it's not like extremely volatile, like, you know, some other horror movies that we've seen. So I wouldn't count it because it was much more of a love story, I guess you could say.
It's what's the central focus of the movie? Yeah, he did, you know, quote unquote horrific things, but that wasn't really the center of the movie. The center was the connection between the characters, them falling in love, then looking past each other's, you know, like scars and outer appearances to fall in love with each other. It's a love movie, like you know. It's like words.
I see what you mean though, and like I will say, like I've seen horror movies that do the romantic thing too. That's why I say it's a horror movie too, because I've seen the same romantic storyline, which that's another thing that pissed me off about the movie. So I didn't do anything that I haven't seen already. This shit was done in the 1930s, you know, and kind of better as far as like writing goes. So
it's completely based off of the fucking Swamp Thing. He even said it in interviews, like, I was a huge fan of the Swamp Thing, and I always felt bad for the creatures, so this was like his answer to that shit. And he just tacked on some other stuff that felt like he would add more to the movie.
So basically, Guillermo del Toro is in love with Swamp Thing, and that he only fantasizes about.
Yeah, basically.
There's a difference.
Yeah. God, I wish Guillermo del Toro was fucking mute, man. Like I can't stand him. And then that's another thing.
Oh, I gotta say, he seems like such a sweet person, though. Honestly.
Oh yeah, it's so
Like-
sweet that he literally hogs the fucking mic for such a long time and lets no one talk when he got 2 chances to fucking talk.
Can you imagine the conversations between him and fucking the dude that makes Metal Gear? Those must go on for days.
Oh, Hideo Kojima.
You know,
Yeah.
It is his baby. Like he's the main proponent who created Shape of Water. So yeah, he's definitely gonna talk a lot because he's the whole reason the movie got made. Sure, of course, you needed other producers to finance it, but it's his idea. He created the look of everything. Like, yeah, you should be the main person to talk.
Yeah, but it's like but in Nick's defense, like, yeah, you should be the main person to talk. Why did you bring up 8 other motherfuckers then?
Yeah, I mean, I guess to get the award, but it's just.
That always happens.
Yeah.
Well, that always happens. That for Best Picture, they bring up everyone, like cast and crew or whoever is there. They'll bring up everyone, and usually they do give time for the other producer to talk, which that was rude on the Oscars part for not even letting the other guy talk. And then like Jimmy Kimmel was like, "Oh, what did you want to say?" "Oh, I just wanted to say, he started out by saying Guillermo and like whatever, he was great." He's like, "Okay, yeah, hey, Guillermo, hey, yay, Guillermo del Toro, everyone!" And then he just like shoot him off stage, and he was like, "What?"
Shoot, bitch! Shoot! We got time. It's money.
Yeah, man, that was rude because he won an Oscar too, and I don't know if it was his first one,
he was
but
just gonna get the Oscar and suck the dick of the guy who just talked a bunch. It's like people like I don't know what I think they need an interviewer guy to be out on stage and just pass the mic. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing that's like annoying the fuck out of me. Where like they go up there like that one dude. Like I'm sorry, and you guys got my ass big time, and I'll fight again with you right now. But when you fucking go up stage and there's so many people that got way better shit to do, and it's a big moment. It's broadcast on TV, and every second costs like $20,000. You're gonna thank your fucking cats? They're cats. They don't know what the fuck
I
to
knew
say.
you were gonna talk about that shit. That's why I meowed. I knew it.
Meow, man. No, but like the biggest thing too is like the fucking when he's goddamn thanking. And I hate to do this too, but thanking dead people. Can we stop thanking people who have died, please?
I want to give a shout out to Jesus, Muhammad, Ali the boxer, everybody, Malcolm X. I'm out.
Like there's a guy right behind you that wants to thank his current alive in the front row watching you, crying their eyes out, and it's like there's a person right in front that wants to be thanked by their son who's standing behind the guy who wants to thank people who are not on this earth anymore. Like, well, I mean, if you're by yourself, go ahead and thank whoever the fuck you want to thank. Thank fucking statues, whatever the fuck. But when there's people waiting who have busted their ass too and have changed their fucking lives and who have their parents who came from out of town or wherever the fuck it is and all this crazy shit's happening, there's their big moment in life. Oh my God, I'm about to fucking cry just talking about it. So beautiful. But your cats though. Gotta thank your cats. Gotta thank the dude who died 20 years ago because good Lord from heaven or wherever the fuck fake place he's at, he must be smiling that you thanked him when you had all this other time to thank him too in your fucking bathroom or whatever. Like, I'm sorry, it's the Oscars. Like, move the shit along. That drives me up the fucking wall. Like,
I don't know, man. I gotta disagree with you on that. Only on the sense of like people have inspirations of their living people, but then at the end of the day, it's like they also want to thank the people that have passed that weren't able to see that. And despite people's beliefs of whether or not there's an afterlife or not, these people that have passed still inspire them to a certain degree. And it's like, yeah, that kind of sucks. They only get so much time to talk, and somebody behind might have something else to say about someone that's currently living. But at the end of the day, it's like that person's inspiration might be a person that's currently not alive anymore, and that's just as real as to them as to somebody beside them that has a son to thank.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't even know, but
okay, sorry, I love you, Nick, and I apologize for this. I just asked Julie, and we're still talking about that horror movie bullshit. I told him, is Twilight a horror movie? And he goes, yes.
You're fucking wrong.
Yeah,
you're so goddamn wrong. I don't know where to start on that. I watched the Twilight series. There is no moment that I'm terrified or feeling frightful of Bella dying. Most of the time, I'm watching some bullshit action sequence and a bullshit love affair that I haven't seen since Inuyasha. Get the fuck out of here.
But the thing is, I will say, look, I hate to do this because then Julian's gonna fucking get big head.
Oh my God! This motherfucker stabs you in the back.
With that said, Allie was right too then earlier because. I mean, none of us were scared of fucking Shape of Water. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not a horror movie.
Yeah, so it's not a horror movie.
There we go.
I mean, there's a gory part, sort of, but I mean, other than that,
I mean, it has more gore than the entire film of Rain. So I mean, I just feel like it should be
Hey, I'll say that the part was very creative when he shot the dude in the face and then he dragged. he took the hole where the bullet was. He dragged the dude. I'm like, ooh.
I mean, there's even scenes though, like where what's his name? I almost said Martin Sheen. Wait, what's the bad guy's
Martin
name?
Sheen.
What's
Michael
his-
Shannon.
Michael Shannon. Okay, sorry. No, but there's a part where he goes inside someone's house, and I'm not gonna say who the character is, but he's basically ripping off his fingers. And that's, I mean, honestly, I've
Yeah.
seen Freddy Krueger do something less insane than that. And like Freddy
Yeah,
Krueger's the biggest horror
And I
icon
agree
ever.
with that, but just because someone does horrific things doesn't make it a horror movie. What's the main focus of the movie? Like, because you could do a lot of horror things. Is it? Oh, no, I'm not gonna bring up that. Or you're gonna go in a fucking historical fit. With something like an action movie like John Wick, where he is murdering motherfuckers like really hard. Is that a horror movie?
No, that thing, the first scene where he goes, the guys come for him into his house. It is shot like a horror film where it's all the dark camera tricks. You're following him. He's breathing
Yeah.
heavy, moving from sequence to sequence, and you're building up attention. Like, all right, when does the shit pop off? Does that count?
Yeah, I guess you guys are right. And the one thing that I will say, and because I disagree with Julian in a sense too, but his point though is vampires are a staple of horror. Like Warm Bodies is not a horror movie either. Same with Shaun of the Dead, but they're zombies, and half of that movie is horror because the fact that dead people are walking around.
Yeah,
and
but
chasing
the
you.
thing with Shaun of the Dead, because me and Nick, we're probably gonna have a good argument over this because I'm a huge fan as much as he is. But the thing with Shaun of the Dead, Nick, they do comedy, but it's still for the effect of horror. For example, remember the opening scene where they do the do 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 do. Oh, that shit is still played up for scares because you have the audience supposed to be like, these drunk idiots are about to get fucking eaten by that zombie that's coming towards their way because they don't know what the fuck that is. Or the sequence where he makes fun of the guy that's making out as a quick sex joke, and then the head falls over the side. Like it's horror, but the end punchline is still built around like this is tension, this is still scary, and if you're in this situation, you should run.
Yeah, and the reason why I feel like with Shape of Water is there's points where, you know, he's like creeping in the side of the room and it's dark. You can really see his back scales, and he turns around and he goes, Kah! And he's like, you know, does this like reptile fucking thing, and then like the gay guy's like, oh my god, you're kind of sexy, and then he runs out and like stabs him and then eats the cat, and then ejaculates all over his face, and then no, I'm just playing. That doesn't happen. But,
Hey, that could happen. You don't...
but yeah, oh shit, who's
who's
Oh,
parked?
ganja! Someone's breaking into someone's car.
Or who's double parked right now?
Hold on a second. Hey, I'll be back, guys.
That was real.
I
It
love
actually
that he
happened.
I love that he couldn't hear it until he took his headphones off.
that really happened?
Noise canceling headphones.
I don't know how Alan said that shit. That's real. That really happened. This is not staged. He didn't have his neighbor do that shit so he can leave to take a shit.
Elaborate as fuck.
really would be. But moving on, and this is gonna be really quick
Is
because
y'all still here?
yep, we can hear you. Well, we can hear you,
Okay.
but
He went
Yeah,
outside
but
and just shot them.
No, I just checked to see if someone's breaking into the car. It's just some idiot just bumped into his shit and just had to turn off the alarm.
okay. Well, here's the thing. This will be super quick. I just wanted to bring this up because I'm just kind of surprised at a certain company doing this. But this is Cobra Kai. This trailer, this is a third trailer. They've been releasing
Sweep
trailers
me,
like
Nick.
crazy.
Sweep me.
Every time I think of Cobra Kai, I keep thinking of G.I. Joe. Every time, man.
Oh, I'm surprised. I never watched that, so there you go. I don't even know. But the thing, hold on, I'm sorry. Fucking Raheem, it's Gay Nick Day. Why?
I don't
Why not?
Why?
Why not, Nick? What's wrong with being gay and having your own day, bro?
I mean, I would like to have my own day for gayness. That'd be fucking awesome. I can actually sanction like all my gay activities and everything in a nice
You
particular
can
part of the day.
finally use that rainbow bath bomb Allie got you for your birthday.
Yes, exactly. That never happened. And then
Those are
also
just-
I can watch this sexy guy do his karate in a very disingenuous, stupid fucking way. Because this trailer was bad, but the idea of it I love.
Hold on, Nick. You're looking for genuine and novelty in a fucking remake for the Karate Kid?
Yes, because people love the Karate Kid from back in the day. That's a very popular movie.
You're trying to dig for gold in the shit mine, bro. Good luck.
As far as like they already did a remake of the Karate Kid. Like, is this a sequel remake? It's called Cobra Kai, so it
What's
has
the
to be
same
like
character? Daniel, I think his name is.
yeah.
Danielson.
Danielson. Yeah, no, I mean, this is going to be a continuation of that. And the thing that was bringing this up, why I'm surprised about this, is because it's YouTube Red, which is super cool. Like, YouTube Red saying, yeah, they're like, you know what, guys, Netflix kicking ass, Hulu's kicking ass. fuck all y'all. YouTube Red, if you guys have a subscription with us, we're doing YouTube Red Originals. So now, he's laughing, but Machinima did the same thing a long time ago, Mortal Kombat Legacy. And I'm thinking, like, yo, they're already doing some Karate Kid shit. They're showing some good choreography. Can we get that Mortal Kombat? Can we please? Like, I would love that shit. But, I mean, like, do you
Honestly,
feel like...
they could do a Mortal Kombat movie or at least a television show so easily. It wouldn't be, like, it wouldn't even be that expensive to fucking make a Mortal Kombat television show.
Hey, I still think the fucking original Mortal Kombat movie was great. I think everyone's kind of up in their ass when they criticize that to a degree.
Yeah, but, like, you, Allie, I mean, did you like Karate Kid back in the day?
It was alright.
Okay, so is this something that you could see yourself watching if you had... Actually, do you have YouTube Red?
I do not.
Wow, that's like, I'm surprised she doesn't have something that costs money. Like, what the fuck? She usually buys everything.
There's no reason for me because I don't hear about any of the YouTube Red originals. I'm not going to pay for YouTube.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't blame you for that.
Yeah.
I actually do have YouTube Red, and to be honest with you, I only use it to skip commercials on my phone.
Me too.
Exactly. See,
Seriously, dude, it's 30 seconds. Like,
I can't take that shit.
I don't got time for that shit, bro.
Yeah,
you'd rather pay $5 to $10 a month?
I pay that for Spotify.
Yeah, but that's like Spotify.
Netflix is literally double that.
Yeah, exactly. And Netflix, you know what's funny is that I use YouTube Red and the whole ad thing way more than I've ever watched any Netflix series.
Exactly. I'm on that shit, just like Nick is.
Okay. As long as you can. I thought it was just literally because y'all don't want to fucking watch ads. I didn't know.
No. Me and Nick just got money that we're just like fucking just throwing it everywhere.
I've met you, Ganja. That's you.
So that spending was planned. I planned to buy that bottle to get us shit faced. All right, that was in the budget.
You've also gone to strip clubs.
That was a great night.
Whatever, man.
We almost lost all our food money, y'all, for the whole week.
Yeah, you have to have another person literally tell you, "We gotta eat," and we're. It's like, what the fuck?
I never seen just true desperation in someone's eye.
But yeah, dude. Yeah.
Lord.
Just get a girlfriend. Don't spend hundreds of dollars on fucking strippers.
Yeah, you'll lose your money faster that way.
Oh, no, that was good. That was funny.
Female co-host would disagree, but good job, Alan.
She didn't hear me.
I don't think she's listening. She's looking out into somewhere right now. The future without these fucks was gonna be really nice.
I can't wait to sue these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get them for all their tens.
Okay, no. When she comes to Susie NCA, I'm not gonna be on that bucket.
Oh, you'll be the first one.
I'll still be here, y'all. Fucking.
That's what she said. Jokes alone will have you in just a long ass transcript in court.
As opposed to the shit you say on a daily.
Hey, it's the Jennies. The Jennies.
Look at her. He's just like, God damn it.
hey, Canada, you might want to invest in a better internet.
Oh man, no, yeah, seriously, Jenny, can you stop like giving our guy? I was gonna say it's kind of like STD internet version, but I got no joke ready. Welcome back, Ellen.
You got no joke ready? The story of your life.
Yeah, oh, fuck you.
The guy with some shitty ass internet. Anyways, but I'm actually kind of a little hyped for the movie. I want to see what they're gonna do with it because it seems like it's gonna be it's taking more of a less serious tone with it, and it's gonna be kind of a basic comedy. But I feel like it's gonna be too much based on like those old 80s style movie templates. Like, yo, man, we gotta come together to save the fucking karate gym, man. We're gonna get like misfits, and because he was the bad guy in the old one, he's gonna have all these misfits and losers. He's gonna be training his own version of Daniel's Sons and shit, and he's gonna get all these groups of misfits to come together and win the championship to save the fucking karate center.
Yeah, no, I know that that's gonna be the case too. You know, like I know you're saying like, oh, I'm afraid that's gonna happen. Well, yeah, it's gonna happen, but it's just like the fact, and it's not a movie by the way, it's a show. So it's like,
oh, it's a show.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna be a red, one of the Red 2 movies that they did.
No, like this one, they're finally doing an original series.
His
internet is just like his opinions. Oh, that's fucked
no,
up.
you missed it, Nick. I said Red 2 instead of YouTube Red.
Oh shit!
I didn't want to say anything because I heard him and I face palmed. I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to stop the show.
Damn.
But my point still remains the same.
I will say, no, RedTube is great. I love RedTube, and I like their version of Cobra Kai.
That's probably real.
Probably, man. But anyways, people, moving on. This is gonna be, and I already bitched about this, not just bitch one more time, but there's only one thing to say about this fucking trailer.
Full of sugar.
American Beauty much? American Beauty much?
Okay, they were flying a kite. They weren't filming a. They weren't filming
They're
a.
filming it right now.
No, but there's not somebody filming it and then someone jacking off to it in the corner. This isn't American Beauty, man.
I think you have PTSD with anything that flies and just being solid in the
floats.
middle of the
Dude,
screen.
this trailer's a minute and 45 seconds. The whole time, it's the thing flying in the fucking wind.
Yeah, I was trying to just show like a normal, like average kind of life, but just like, yo, check this shit out, and then Mary Poppins can fly, bitch.
What is Mary Poppins about this? Like,
Oh no!
Um,
So that's how
Her
they.
showing up.
Yeah, that's how she comes and shows up. They actually use it towards trying to get to the chimney, and that's when they meet the chimney sweeper. That's played by who was the fucking actor? It was a well-known actor. He couldn't do a British accent to save his life. It was horrible.
I don't know, man. That movie came out in the fucking 60s.
I'm trying to ask for Hallie to help because she's the other Disney girl on this call.
Yes.
Help me, Hallie. Who was the actor in Mary Poppins?
Julie Andrews.
The
He means
actor.
No, Emily
Oh, in
Blunt.
this one? Emily Blunt, yeah.
Yeah, she's.
I
We're never
give
gonna
up.
get anywhere. Let's continue the rest of this.
I give
It's all
up.
good.
The chimney sweeper, Hallie.
No, it's Emily Blunt.
Chimney Sweeper. Wait, in this one or
The old one. The old one.
the older one? Wasn't it Gene Kelly?
Nope. All right.
No, it
All
wasn't.
right. I know that was not. So I give up. My point seems the same. It was just trying to get off the base that Mary Poppins has the iconic umbrella scene where she flies up. She ports on it.
Dick Van Dyke.
There you go, Alex. Thank you. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke, that horrible British accent that he was trying
That's
to
an
pull off.
awful name.
Yeah,
Who named her that?
Dick Van Dyke took us to many New Years together. All right.
You're both gay and a lesbian.
Yeah, cockfin fag. Like Jesus, like that's
See,
terrible.
y'all those boys that made him go into comedy because he got bullied all the time for his name like that.
That's an awful name. I can't believe it. That's terrible. That's really rude.
Dude, oh my god, the acronym for today, his name is DVD.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right, that's kinda cool.
Get over here, man.
But that still doesn't prove the point, Nick. You're losing your shit over something that's from that Kevin Spacey movie. I always blank on his name, but I know it's
American
about
Beauty.
American Beauty. Yeah, it's really not that. It was more just trying to hype, like, oh, where's this? It's in Brand. I wonder where we found this umbrella. Oh my God, it's Mary Poppins. Ah!
Mary Poppins, y'all. And yeah, like American Beauty was like, again, it was so like, even though the actual footage on screen was so short for the American Beauty part, like a portion of that movie is dedicated to that shit. This was basically just for the character reveal, you know?
Yeah, and I will say, and it's not like I keep saying American Beauty just to show people a reference, whatever the fuck, like in that sense. But aside from that, one thing I've noticed with these Oscar movies is they love to just let shit go without being edited, and then there's so many little portions of that, but they're so long that it extends that 30 minutes of this movie could easily have just been removed by not doing shit like that. Like, for instance, even Jessica Jones, I'll talk about that later, but there's so many scenes of people eating. Like, I'm sorry, if the next movie I fucking see that someone's eating on camera and I get to watch them have fucking lunch, I'm turning it off. I'm not finishing that fucking movie. Like, I'm so sick of that shit. And Phantom Thread, how many cups of fucking coffee do you have to have at breakfast? And then, she's pouring it all out. She's getting on the fucking nerves of, what's his fucking name? The main dude from Phantom Thread. Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis. And he's like, stop it, please. Fuck off, goddamn bitch. And it's like, the movie's kind of long. Take that out. Like,
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. Like, it doesn't like bother me like I get mad, but it's just sometimes like some of these scenes are kind of pointless.
Yeah, and then this is a whole trailer, y'all. Like, already they're wasting time, and I know that Ganja's like, well, the reason why is because they want to show the other characters, and maybe that girl shows up at the end of the thing. But like, it's so like, look at that. It's taking a while to get out the trash.
It's symbolism. It's because he can't hang out with his father too much because he's got to work in the industrial area of London, man. It's all symbolism, baby.
Even despite God's joke, honestly, all this was just for the reveal. It's trying to show, hey, a cool windy day, and then Mary
Look, the
Poppins,
chimney
all just
sweeper.
for the-
No, is that Dick Van Dyke's chimney sweeper? No. Oh my God, it's Mary Poppins. Ah!
Exactly, yeah. Mary Poppins should be a horror movie.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't even know.
Should be.
Willy Wonka would make a great Saw film.
Probably.
Willy Wonka is a fucking thriller movie, man.
Now, here's the thing. We're going to get into a section that I did not do any research for because I just barely found out right before the show. As I was getting ready for the show, that doesn't even exist. Ellen, get him. Because we are showing the fucking Grinch.
Ah!
No, I'm done. Okay, oh my god. Like, so usually for when we have to watch this stuff, like Nick yells at me, watch the fucking trailers, or I'll shoot you. I honestly could not get 10 seconds into this fucking trailer because they just started playing Happy. I hear Happy, I start almost like spazzing out and I run the fuck away.
Yeah, but that was the whole
hate that
point of that segment. He hates the song. That's what wakes him up. So he's nice and angry when he wakes up in the morning. He just breaks the clock.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
no.
the Grinch, by the way.
I'm not talking about Nick. I'm talking about the Grinch movie.
No, like, I'm sorry, man, but the way you hate this makes me be like, oh my god, anyone who relates to the Grinch, this is gonna get them good. Because the fact that you hate that song makes this even better, due to the fact that the Grinch hates this fucking song. So this is like perfect.
I guess, but I feel like it's one of those things like right off the bat, like it's like, oh man, these animated movies they take so long to make, so this is probably like either in development or in an idea when Happy was super popular, and it took so long. Like, oh man, remember this song, guys? Like, I just honestly, to me, like even like throughout the rest of the trailers, this just doesn't seem that interesting. It's not as good as the old animated one, and it will never be as good as the fucking Jim Carrey one.
Well, as somebody who actually finished the trailer, Alan, because unlike you, I know how to finish shit I start.
I'm sorry that you like the way.
Wait, did you not watch the whole trailer?
No,
I
I watched.
watched enough of it.
Oh.
Hey,
I-
that Happy song is terrible, and unlike Ganja, I don't like to waste my fucking time.
I don't waste my time. I'm willing to explore and adventure for things that I want to see, experience if they're good or bad. But that's besides the point. It's gonna be bad, dude. Because the one thing I don't like is that the Grinch walks through Whoville. And one thing about the Grinch in both the book, the movie, and the cartoon adaptation that they did when Seuss was still alive is he's a character for us that lives outside the town. Everyone's afraid of him. There's legends about him, and he's supposed to be like this pretty much neighborhood dickhead with a dog that's an asshole. And he just fucks with people and whatnot. But as he's walking through the neighborhood, he's like going through the grocery store and just grabbing shit, just fucking with people and whatnot. But it's like small little dickhead shit. It's nothing that would consider him evil or the fucking I guess we would say the not the hostile guy, but I guess the abandoned dude of the town, which he's supposed to represent, is like he's different. So the Who's treat him differently. He hates that the Christmas idea and whatnot, how they act towards Christmas. And it is nothing like that. It's just like, hey, just see me be a mediocre asshole walking to the grocery store.
It's the menace, and I saw enough.
No, Dennis the Menace has a point because the little kid's just trying to have fun. It's just, hey man, let me just try to be the most evil thing I can think of, which is in a little kid realm for illumination to actually do.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you exactly. Like that's kind of where I tuned out. I'm like, man, I don't give a shit about this trailer anymore because it's like, yeah, the whole point of the Grinch was supposed to kind of almost be a fucking villain. He was supposed to be the biggest. He was supposed to be one of those guys where it's like, well, if everyone already hates me, why am I gonna hang out with them? He was basically kind of a loner that would just chill in his ice mansion. And he'd only show up whenever he needed to and just hated everybody. Basically, the whole what was the fucking thing? Scrooge, the Scrooge fucking thing.
Scrooge
like
McDuck
that's kind of yeah. He hated Christmas. He hated anyone that was ever doing anything happy. And it's like with this, it just seems like he's just mischievous, you know?
Oh, and that's Scrooge McDuck. It's Scrooge like that fucking the live action thing where.
Yeah, I honestly I keep thinking Scrooge McDuck. What the fuck is his name? Ebenezer
DuckTales.
Scrooge. There we go. Ebenezer Scrooge. There we go. It's more like that's originally what the Grinch is supposed to be. And this to me just seems like it honestly just seems like the Minions. And this is made by the same like company that at least I think it is because the Minions just show up at the start of this. But it just feels like it's just gonna be the Minions but with the Grinch skin over it.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. But yeah, man. It doesn't look too bad now that I'm looking at it, and I will say that, yeah, I'm actually interested in the idea of, like, how he's not living in some kind of hill away from everybody, whatever the fuck. Like, I like that he's actually out. But, Allie, you grew up around the time where the Jim Carrey one came out. Like, I mean, did you like that one at all, or no?
No.
No. I actually did like it, though. I'm surprised that you're saying you didn't like it.
Nah, man, I didn't. It reminded me too much of The Mask, and I had bad mask experiences. I know
What's happened to you?
I didn't remember The Mask.
Okay, well, Jim Carrey. No, but like him being in makeup, I was just like, when I was a kid, The Mask scared me, and so like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, but so him being the Grinch, like, nah. But no, it was, I don't know, I just didn't really care for it. I like the cartoon a lot better. That's the thing. That's the one that I really grew up with and really enjoyed watching every Christmas. But yeah, was that made by Tim Burton?
I hope not, because it's actually good.
Yeah, I believe it was. No.
Yeah, I was never much a fan of. I always liked the visuals of Tim Burton's movies, but I always felt like it was a little too weird for me, like the actual movie itself.
And I believe because even if like Nick's showing it right now, the animation even in this is just cheesy and it's not even worse than what the Horton Hear the Who animation was.
Yeah, this is like the Lorax and.
Yeah, this is just one of those bullshit ones that are trying to cash in on the Dr. Seuss name, but not trying to get any of the character aspects right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see the same point you guys are trying to make, too, and I'm not a person who gives a fuck about the Grinch a whole lot, but it's like, the character seems like it'd be me if I was a fucking like animated character. So I'm just kind of like, I kind of want to check it out. But
Nah,
see
you
what
would throw hands with the Grinch if you watch the trailer all the way through, Nick, because he does the thing where he opens someone's pickle jar, eats it, doesn't like the taste, and spits it back in and throws the pickle back in and
happens.
seals
I will
it.
kill a
And
motherfucker.
kills him. Yeah, Nick would have been like square bitch and just started fighting the Grinch right there.
And that's where I tuned out because that nothing disgusts me more than people that fuck with food like that. But yeah, it's nothing like he was a bad guy, but only because everyone told him he was a bad guy. Because when you watch the movie, it was like he was the bad guy because everyone just looked at him and said, "I don't like you." But he never in himself ever did anything to really fuck with anybody.
Man, Julian, we about to square it, bitch. You talking about this book looks done like the book in 3D animation. Get the fuck out of here.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what he's on, man, but Ganja, you gotta...
Hey, man, you gotta lay off that LA weed. It's too strong for your mental capacity, bro. Send that shit my way.
And you can keep that to yourself, sir.
Hey, I will suffer the chronic from my friends, all right?
But one thing I'm gonna suffer the ganja. Oh no, I'm gonna suffer, son? Huh?
No.
Huh? Well, I stole to find a fucking thing. Where is it? I don't know.
I just want to throw one quick out there from the Oscars talk. Thank God for my boy winning.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman's son, he won the best Oscars. But continue, Nick. Continue.
No, wait, that's the motherfucker. Oh wait, no, did he win for the shortest? Whatchamacallit?
The shortest award.
No.
He won for the shorts.
His speech was pretty long too.
Yes, that's
I'm
what
not talking about a speech. I wanted to thank him for being a good Winston Churchill and for a history movie winning an Oscar.
bitch. What a
Ah,
bitch.
Gary Oldman.
What a bitch. I don't like you and your love for these fucking old and historical movies. You being the big weed dude and all cool and everyone likes you the most out of all of us and blah blah blah, the whole fucking thing.
No.
And yet you're so
Penelope.
fucking boring with the historic shit.
Hey, I put love and passion
Penelope,
into my
yeah.
history. That's why I talk to you guys about it when y'all care a little bit. Me and Alan have talked about the arts, the fucking magic, astrology, alchemy and shit. We about to summon fucking the elixir of life, bro. We're gonna bring back his dead mom.
What?
So bad. I don't even know what the fuck is going on anymore.
I made a Full Metal Alchemist reference, but no one got
Oh, God, you remind me we saw that fucking movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
there we go.
bad. But the thing is, one movie that I remember watching, I remember this quite vividly. Alan does too, don't you, baby? And here we go.
I honestly hate you.
I
honestly hate you.
Or Flex and Chill. Wow, like that's the name of the movie. No, Phantom Thread. Phantom Thread. We watched it. We didn't watch it with Alan because then he would have fucking choked me for enjoying something for once. Like,
Yeah, you enjoyed this. I'm sorry, you enjoyed this bullshit, but you'll give me so much shit for the shit that I watch and enjoy.
Fuck yeah.
This movie's everything you fucking hate in movies. Nothing fucking happens. Everyone just wishy-washy to whatever the fuck. They eat through most of this fucking movie. Nobody has any character growth or any development, and the plot is non-existent.
Allie, get him.
Man, I'm sorry. I really like this movie.
I hate
Me
it
too.
man.
This shit-
Wow, I'm about to see Alan get jumped. This is great.
This fucking movie. The only reason I saw it is because y'all said it was good. And then halfway through this fucking movie, need to end this fucking movie. They're like, yeah, it was only good because we were making jokes the entire time. Like, anything's good in that case.
In that
No.
case, Shark Exorcist is better than sex.
No, we were quiet though. We were literally quiet watching this shit. Like it was pretty fucking good. Like because
Because you guys are asleep.
no, because it was interesting. See, you knew you were gonna hate this right away. I think that's what the case was.
I
You knew-
never.
Yeah.
No. I only watched this because like y'all said it might be interesting, so I was giving it a chance. Like I didn't walk in hating it. I'm not like
Okay.
this isn't a superhero movie with you, man.
Okay, this is what I had to do because you did come at me. I'm just saying you came at me.
Come at me, bro. Come at me.
I'm just
You
saying.
come at me all the time, man.
I'm-
I'm just getting my guns up.
I'm just being nice, but I gotta pull some shit. I gotta say a little something. I'm sorry. I love you. Just know that after
No,
this,
you don't.
I love you. But, Alan watched this in two halves, y'all. Okay.
No, okay.
No, you.
No, I
no,
did
you
not.
told me. You
Hold
told
on,
me.
Nick. Hold on. 2 halves? If I reckon late, this motherfucker took 5 days to watch this.
Okay.
No.
What actually happened, before Nick decides to make up his story is I watched I was at work and it was a lull, so I was able to watch it then. So I watched an hour and 40 minutes of it. Then I had to kind of, come home and finish the rest of it. But by that point, like, it didn't matter. So yeah, it took me a little longer to watch it because we were busy prepping the show and everything, Nick.
And I was reading the chat right now, so I barely heard like half. But like I know you said no, and the thing is, I wasn't gonna make anything up. And the reason why, because you even told people like, yo, he's gonna make it whatever. Like, no, I wasn't gonna like say anything that wasn't true because yeah, you watched some, and then you're at work, and then you watch the rest, and it's like I get that, and that's totally cool. But it's like a movie like that you're taking all day to watch feels longer because, like you said, there's nothing happening. It's one of those movies that you have to watch in one setting because it, like you said, it's very, very subtle. And when it's doing that, you need to get this shit over with. Because if this movie was like 10 minutes longer than what it was, I would have fucking hated it. And especially with that ending. God damn that fucking ending. These movies and their endings.
That's the thing, man. Like, honestly, like, there are movies where it's like, the reason I left is because, like, well, I gotta go home. There are movies where I've, like, if it was quiet enough, I actually would stay longer at work just because when I watched, the first time I ever watched Wolf of Wall Street, that movie's like 3 hours, and I fucking stayed. I stayed open, like 8 customers walked in, so I made a bunch of sales. But I also finished that fucking movie because it was worth my fucking time. This movie was not. This movie was so painfully boring. There are just nothing fucking happens. There's no plot for most of this. This is just a behind the scenes of it. Any makeup tutorial on fucking YouTube.
Hey.
All the characters
No,
are
it's
just
not like that.
like, oh, I don't know, man. I just was so bored because it just felt like nothing interesting was happening throughout the entire fucking movie.
Now, the way, just so we have some context of what's going on, basically this movie is about this guy, Daniel Day-Lewis. He's this perfectionist, like dressmaker or whatnot for weddings. I think just general things in general. But he has, I mean, everyone like damn near worships him because he's so fucking great at his job. To the point where people like do whatever they can. Like there's girls that come to him like, please, I'll get naked for you. Have you make me something just to wear your clothes would be the best honor. Ah, they're having orgasms just because of cloth. And he goes to this fucking restaurant to get away from it all because he's just like, yeah, I'm sick of my ass being kissed, these fucking peasants. And he goes to this place over here and he finds a girl who, and this is played by Leslie Manville, and I never heard of her before, but
No, it's not. I don't think so.
Wait, what happened?
Pretty sure that's his sister in the movie, Leslie Manville, because she was nominated.
Oh, yeah, his sister, my bad. No,
Yeah.
this is Vicky something, right?
Okay, let me see. Vicky Kripp.
Yeah, Creeps.
Creep. Yeah, I'm trying to say her name right.
No, yeah, I was gonna call her Vicky, but yeah, like Vicky over here, and I don't know her character's name because I don't give a fuck. I think isn't it Elma?
Yeah.
Yeah, Elma. Yeah, like Elma over here, she's just a boring fucking chick who just serves coffee and that's all it is, which is not a big deal. But at the same time, like for him, that's like so below. Like, oh, coffee? You guys serve people coffee? What a sack of shit you must be. You ain't shit. And so uncultured. And right away, she brings her lack of knowing how to act around him to his house, and she starts living with him and shit. And he cannot take the fact that she's so like domesticated. Like he can't stand like her drinking her fucking coffee loudly. He can't stand her like arguing, being an independent woman. Like he hates that shit.
Woman.
You're describing your description of this movie is completely different from what
Okay, what would you do?
Well, no, well, for me, this movie was about a man who is a renowned, like you said, renowned dressmaker. He's very obsessed with his craft, and he comes upon this woman who, there's just something about her. I don't think he ever looked down upon her, but she has this charisma that he finds very charming, and she's very beautiful as well. And he thought, well, you know what, she would be an amazing kind of person, model to, for him to make the dresses around, like to design them, like, for her body type is like perfect. And because she's like different than what who is normally surrounded with, people who are mainly yes men or women, and are like, oh, I love you, whatever. And she's just kind of like, she speaks her mind, and she's not afraid to kind of act her young self, whatever. And sometimes he loves it, and sometimes he's just like, hey, I need to do these steps every single morning, and it needs to be in this order. If it's not, it's going to throw off my whole entire day. Like, you can't be scraping your toast extremely loud. Like, it's going to just ruin my flow, stuff like that. But this movie is really just about their relationship, and her just like, she didn't know really what she was going into when she accepted, like, kind of being his model. And also they have a relationship as well. She didn't know what she was in for, because it turns out he's extremely obsessed with his work, to the fact where like he doesn't really spend all that much time with her. And there's just this part where he's so into his work that he kind of takes more care of that than he does his actual health. And so he gets sick, and that's the time when she actually gets to be more intimate with him, is when he actually needs her, to kind of heal him back to health. And then it's all over again with like, the workload and all of that.
Abusive relationship, the movie.
Yeah.
Basically.
it's not abusive, but it's just like she asks him like, why aren't you married? And this movie very much shows why he isn't married, because he cares more about his designs and having it be absolutely 100% perfect, more so than anything else in the world. So that takes over anything, and people who want love or some sort of, you know, compassion or intimacy, like they would never in their right mind agree to be with him for the rest of their life, knowing that they're basically not going to get any attention from him except for like a small, oh god, there goes my dog.
Hi, Harley.
I agree with Harley. She hates this movie too.
No, but like, I will say, like, and I mean, I see your point too, but yeah, I think that's another good thing about the movie in a way, and I know it's pretentious, but it was for Best Picture, people, and there's no movie that's out there right now that's not being fucking pretentious, because everyone fucking buys into it, so sorry if I had to go in this route, but this is actually open to perspective, because what you say about him thinking that she's of equal, or he's like, he loves her charisma so much, and granted he does like her and she is charismatic, but right. I felt that, like, yeah, he thought he thought that she was completely beneath him, because right away he's like, let's go on a date. Actually, no, stand on that fucking thing. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put a dress on you. Okay, I'm gonna put another dress on you. Oh, you stand there all fucking day. I don't care about what you want. I don't care if you want to eat. I don't care if you want to fuck. Yeah. I don't care if you need a ride home. You're my fucking bitch to wear a dress all night. You know, because I said so, because I'm me. And it's like, yeah, you don't do it to somebody you respect or like. I mean, you know what I mean?
There's that argument they have about, like, near the end where it's like, what the fuck? I just want you here to do this, and this. You don't get to do other shit. Like, they literally yell over asparagus, like, because he doesn't understand why it's a step. But it's like, those kind of moments are okay. But there's so much of what you complain about and so much other stuff where it's like, it's a bunch of just scenes of just dressmaking and then dress wearing and then eating and then breakfast and doing this. And I got to the point where I'm like, I'm trying to pay attention to this, but it took me a little while where I realized, what the fuck? There's nothing going on. It's just a series of him making dresses and stuff and dealing with this woman. And it got to the point where I was just starting fucking getting hysterical at random moments, where at one point fucking he passes out because he's sick near the end of the movie, and somebody comes in with a straight face, and it's like the dialogue exchange, and it's like, well, he got shoe polish on the dress, and the dress is horrible. And one of the characters straight face goes, shoe polish from where? His fucking shoe! Where else would it come from? Yeah. That is some Jurassic Park shit of, it's a bird cage. For what? Birds.
Well, I saw that as like, because again, he's just so, like, he wants his stuff to be perfect. You would never think that he would make the mistake, or that, you know, he would cause damage to the dress. So they can't believe that he was the one that was the cause for the dress getting ruined. But I mean, just coming from somewhere, like, for me personally, I am very much into fashion. I work at a retail clothing store. It's all the places I've worked at. And so seeing all of like the design and the dressmaking, that was extremely interesting for me. So I think like someone who is very much into fashion, or they make clothes themselves, I think they would get something out of this, and they would understand a little bit more. Just because I have researched a lot of, you know, designers, and yeah, they are very obsessed with, you know, getting every single aspect right and every detail right.
Yeah, well, most successful people are, so that's
why, you know. But like, especially designers are like, not all of them are, you know, as terrible as he is, but a lot of them are, and so it's just very fascinating to see, like, first off, like, this person working and what like his mind is and what he thinks and everything like that. And I gotta say, like, the costume design, like, definitely well-deserved award, because they won for the Oscars for best costume. Because I mean, the dresses in this movie are just absolutely beautiful and astounding, and just so unique from what I've ever seen actually any real designer do. Funny enough, but yeah, like, I honestly, what I found the most interesting was just like the dynamic between Alma and, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis's character. What's his name again? Reynolds Woodcock. That's a weird name, but Woodcock. No, but yeah, gosh. No, but yeah, like, you end up hating Daniel Day-Lewis, like, throughout the whole movie, because like you understand like why he is the way he is, because like he built this whole entire like empire he has. You know, it's his name, it's his reputation. So he wants everything to be perfect. Down to like the people who wear the clothing, he wants them to be very respected, and not be doing a bunch of like, you know, nonsense while wearing his garments. But there just comes to a point where you're just like, oh my god, he just treats people like shit around him, like everyone, and you're just like, man, I hate him. And when like Alma comes in and she's just like, nah, I'm not taking any of that. I'm gonna talk back to you. I was like, yeah, you go, girl. You talk smack to him. Like, don't let him like run all over you. And he hates it, but at the same time, like, it's just so interesting because he also loves it because she's so different, because she actually is someone who will be truthful. So
yeah, and I mean, and this trust thing too. But then it gets to a point where that even goes in a different round. I don't want to go into too many spoilers. I will at the end, after we give our ratings, we are going to go into spoilers because there's something that really fucking drives me up the fuck about this movie that happens with a lot of movies nowadays. Everything that was up for Best Picture, but I will say, like, one thing that I really love, and instead of talking about the movie and what it is now, because you people should go see it, and there is a lot more to it, but we're not going to get into that now. The main thing to discuss is the tension behind the characters. You said that it's boring as fuck. And that there's nothing.
And I stand by that.
And I will agree that it's very subtle and nothing's happening. But something will happen where if you're not paying attention, you miss something fucking amazing. Because what I hate about movies is the music going, dun, 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 and like the music and the lighting and the this and the that's telling you you're about to see some good shit. To the point where the movie gets so lost in its own hype that I'm like, oh, that's what that was? No, fuck you. Like the Post does that again and again and again. Like, they try to act like a piece of paper is the most serious fucking thing on the planet. This movie is like, no, like, we're not going to have no music. Just look at the situation. She's at the table. She's drinking coffee. You know he hates when she drinks coffee because she's fucking loud. What's going to happen? And every time you see that scene, and trust me, I hate when people are eating and drinking at a fucking table. I talked about that 3 times a day. I fucking hate that shit. But they did it a little bit different, where it was like, there was times where I kind of dozed off and I was like, oh man, I can't pay attention. And then he just starts saying shit like, listen, can you not fucking do that? Stop the fucking goddamn. And like, he's getting so pissed, but so subtle. And then his sister's getting pissed. And you don't realize that if this was like a book and you were just like playing this out in your own fucking head, this is one of the most intense scenes that I've seen in any movie in the last few months.
And that's the thing, man. I honestly cannot agree with you. Maybe that's kind of what you saw, but to me, it's like, I just saw that, but it felt like it really didn't play a lot of going on. It was just like, it just seemed like, yeah, he just was pissed off, and it's like, well, that's kind of it. I didn't really see much into this because it's one of those things with this movie. It's just like these things would keep happening, but I don't understand what the movie was trying to do. It felt like it was just, like I said in the chat, it just took 3 months of his life and just compressed it to 2-hour movies. Like, is this a documentary based on his life? Is this like a documentary based on other people? Is it just a random movie? If it is, what's the kind of point of it? A lot of the scenes you're talking about where they're just kind of sitting around, I really didn't get that much attention except for the time where they just have this giant explosion of an argument, which is one of the few times where I'm like, wow, I'm actually kind of enjoying this. Because I'll say this, the acting in this movie is good, but I felt that there was just nothing to anything that was going on. Nothing in the movie ever felt like it meant anything except for maybe near the end, and then the movie just ends at that point.
Yeah, and I will say the ending is shocking, and we'll get into that in a little bit too. But like, I mean, like, Allie, did you feel the same way I felt too, where like every now and then, if you were dozing off, the movie would surprise you about something very, very serious happening? You're like, oh shit, I better pay attention. Holy fuck.
Yeah, like the arguments, like, I gotta say that, yeah, like the acting really sells it, because you feel like you're there, and it, you know, and you have those like family dinners or whatever, and you're like at the table, and you're just like, you know, mind your own business, and then like 2 of your family members just start like talking a little bit, like, okay, they have some like attitude going on. Okay, maybe it'll calm down. Oh, no. Okay, this is getting a little bit more uncomfortable. Oh, okay, they're yelling at each other. Okay. Should I move? Should I leave? Like, should I stay? I don't know what to do. Like, you just stay still.
Sits you there.
Yeah, you're just stuck there, and you're just like between these 2 arguments of these people. It's like super heated, and you don't know what's gonna happen. And that's what it felt like with Phantom Thread. Like, you felt like you were there sitting and like, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis, and the girl was just like in the room with you, and just like, y'all want to go in another? No, you guys don't want to go in another room? Okay, okay.
Like, and on top of it too, it's just like when that happens as well, is you don't know, like, it's so serious and so emotional, but it's kind of funny because now they're like making fun of each other, like, look at you in your fucking goddamn suit, you fucking bitch, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously, it's almost sarcasm. Like yeah, man, yeah, it was actually really entertaining, those scenes. It felt like a real like married couple, you know, even though they weren't married in the movie for the most part. So, but yeah, I definitely agree. I don't know, like I understand why people don't like it, because it is definitely it definitely drags a lot. And you know, me and Nick and Jet, we watched it together, and we basically the whole movie were like, wait, so what's the plot of this?
Yeah, there's no plot.
We could not find a plot to this movie, but it was still really interesting. Just, I guess, their whole like character dynamics they had going on, and just like, not everyone will find that interesting. And I totally get it. I totally get why people don't like this movie. I was expecting not to like it. I thought it was going to be extremely boring, very artsy and you know, pretentious. And some scenes were like, okay, the car scenes were rough.
Yeah.
The car scenes, like, it was something out of a like 1930s movie where like they have the backdrop of like the background, and so it's like a green screen. And I was just like, man, this is so bad. Like, what was going through the director's mind? He thought like, oh, I got to do something like this. What, as an homage to old Hollywood? I don't know. I don't see a point to it. But
and to respond to the chat, like Julian's saying, you know, the movie needs the 45 minutes, and you're saying it doesn't. You know, and like I said, Julian, me and you will still fight forever. You're still my enemy. But I agree with Julian there too, because if this movie didn't have those 45 minutes, then those tension moments wouldn't have been worth anything. Yeah. And then you would have just got a very short, still shitty movie.
Yeah, know? I mean, it might be really long, but I gotta say the character development was very well done, because you understood all the characters, you know, motivations. You really knew them by the end of the movie. Like, you knew what they were about. You knew kind of like what they would say in the situation. You knew how they would act. Sometimes they would act a little bit like, you know, unpredictable. But still, for the most part, you really were familiar with the characters. So I don't know. I kind of bonded with them in a way, even though I didn't like necessarily all of them. But still, like, you definitely knew them. Yeah. So got to give it to that.
But yeah, and I'm gonna go into my rating, and we can say our last bits there. But yeah, I say it's a stream it. I'm gonna make that really quick. It's just stream it, because it's one of those movies that, like, for me personally, I would, if I had the money, I would buy this and I would watch it again. You know, I would actually really have a great time with this. I wouldn't go to a movie theater, you know, but I love this fucking movie. I actually really like it a lot. Very, very close to legitimate love. But the thing is, though, is, you know, this movie takes up so much time to do its thing. It's like, okay, you shouldn't buy it because you're not going to rewatch this a bunch of times. You could rewatch it a couple times, but it's not going to be something you're going to watch a shit ton. And the biggest thing is, too, is like, it's so great to just sit there and lay down and just watch it, too. Like, just to kind of chill and eat something and, like, whatever. Maybe play a video game while you're doing this, a mobile game, whatever the fuck. And it's like, yeah, you shouldn't go past, like, if this being on Netflix. And this will be on Netflix. I guarantee you. This is not going to go... They're not going to have a big Blu-ray market, you know, for fucking Phantom Thread. That's not happening. So, yeah, definitely stream it. But, like, I love it, though. Like, don't think it's stream it because it's close to avoid it. It's, no, just stream it because you'll be able to. So, yeah, for sure.
I say pirate it.
Of course. But, Allie, you, girl, go ahead. Yeah. What do you think?
So, yeah, like I've basically been saying, you know, I found the characters extremely interesting and well-rounded, well-written. The acting is very well done, and if you're really into, like, you know, fashion and everything like that, if you like making clothes or sewing or anything like that, I think you'll really appreciate the fashion detail in the movie, and like all the different dresses. Cinematography I actually really loved. I thought it looked so different from what, like, other movies I've seen. And also, God, I forgot what else did I want to say. I think that was it. But either way, I do, like, totally get, like, it is very slow. The movie is very slow, and especially if you don't have any attachment whatsoever to any of the characters, this is going to be extremely grueling for you. And you know, yeah, I totally. This is not for. It's not for, like, the average moviegoer. So I would say I definitely will probably at least rent this movie again. I might buy it if it's, like, on sale, like on iTunes. Like, yeah, I'll definitely buy it if it's on sale. And I think, yeah, like when they said, it's kind of like a great movie you can watch, like, during the weekend, you know, just kind of chilling in bed, maybe, you know, get some snacks, you know, like. No, but, you know, just kind of like doing stuff in the background. It's like a nice movie to have on in the background. So I think it's definitely, if you like more stylish movies, not necessarily, you know, like blockbuster films, or if you like both, then great. But yeah, I definitely think it's a rent it. You know, I think it's quite interesting, but it's definitely not for everyone.
Yeah, and Alan, go ahead and shoot it.
Man, honestly, it's one of those things when I look at the rating, it's like, it's not, like, I'm not mad, like, as mad as I was if it was something like Mother that legitimately made me fucking yell and just want to fucking start throwing stuff, but this wasn't avoided. Like, it, honestly, if I never have to if I never have to hear this fucking movie again, I'll be okay. Like, it doesn't anger me as much as other stuff that I watch, but honestly, watching throughout this movie, it was just watching a day in the life of some rando. And I kind of honestly hate those movies all the time because I feel like, what's the fucking point? Like, this actually, the dynamic between those honestly reminded me of me working with my dad. And then it's like, I would see him work and it'd be fascinating watching him work. But like with this, I never found it interesting watching him work. Maybe, I don't know if that's because I'm just so not into fashion, I don't give a shit. But I mean, I watch horror movie stuff, or not horror movies, history movies all the time. And I don't give a flying fuck about history. But that's still interesting to me. So it's like, I just really think that this movie just didn't do anything that it was trying to do interesting except for a few character moments. But it's so drawn out between them eating, them going to random balls and shit. And honestly, I just really think that you should just avoid this. I don't think you're going to miss anything by not watching this.
Yeah, and moving on, and we were going to do Jessica Jones. We might say that. No, we'll do a quick one in a little bit. But one thing I just got to say, I just got to do something really, really quick. Because everything that this movie did right for what it was, this fucking film did everything completely wrong. The Post. This bitch right here. I hate that fucking woman. Like, I fucking hate her.
Oh, Meryl Streep. How can you hate her? Except for that she's a hateful person.
No, for one, as a person, she fucking sucks. Like, in real life, she is fucking trash, and she's contradictory as fuck, and she's an apologist for fucking people who rape 13-year-olds. So fuck this lady. But on top of that, too, she is so dry as an actor. The only thing I've ever seen her good in is River Wild, and that shit was in 1995. All right, and for the most part, the movie was good because of Kevin Bacon, because he actually has energy and knows like what a paycheck is worth, and will actually put work into his fucking career. Unlike that fucking bitch. Like, I cannot stand her. And Tom Hanks, I love you, Tom Hanks. I love Woody and everything. Tom Hanks is great.
I bet you love looks with Woody.
Oh, you shut up, Ganja. You
could have said a bunch of other stuff. You chose Woody.
Oh, man. Well, because he's my favorite character in Toy Story. Yeah.
But
you son of a bitch. Shut up. No, man, but I'm trying to find a picture of there he is. Here.
He's trying to find a picture of Woody.
Basically, yeah, because this was wooden as fuck.
Oh.
Him, I'm sorry. I like puns. But these two together, you would think two great, and but people would say talented fucking actors being together would actually make something kind of good. But nah, this was terrible. Tom Hanks and her, the conversations they have with people have inside jokes that they don't explain in the movie. How many times, Allie, does somebody start fake laughing?
Oh, that was great, man. I was listening to you.
Yeah, I love it because like Alan wasn't watching the movie and he was just doing whatever, but he was still in the call. And like every 15 minutes, me and Jed and Nick would be like, oh. And Alan would be like, wow, they're already laughing again? Like, it's short span.
Play a drinking game with the laughing.
See, yeah, you would
be fucking drunk as shit.
Yeah, you would be going to the hospital.
It was insane because it was like weird. Like, it was like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or some shit. Like, I didn't think anybody was actually fucking human. They would say something so unfunny like, "Hey, pass me the glass of blah blah blah," because you know how they like it. You know what I'm saying? And the person's like, "What's the joke?"
Yeah, I don't know, but it was the most terrible.
And I've seen characters on sitcoms do better fake laughter. These are world-renowned, holy shit, Oscar Best Picture fucking nominee, and yet their fake laughing was the fakest laughing I've ever heard in anything. And I've watched a lot of shit. I've watched some poo-poo, and this has been the worst as far as the acting stuff goes. And it's supposed to be an acting movie because other than that, this movie's about the Washington Post, folks. It's about newspapers. It's about them, and they try to villainize fucking New York Times. Like, I'm supposed to watch this movie and say, man, New York Times, those motherfuckers. Like, it's newspapers. Like, why am I gonna... I don't get it. Fucking sending young, scrawny white kids running across the fucking streets of New York to give a paper to somebody, and I don't know what's important about the paper. I don't know who is he giving it to, who's the villain. Why does a kid fucking run around, almost get himself killed for this fucking other guy? Like, why?
Well, they have the scoop on a story that they're working on, and had like some inside sources, so that's why the kid was kind of running back and forth.
No, true, but it's just like the movie's just telling me that's important. But like, why is it important? Why is a scoop important? You know what I mean? Like, I know they have scoops, and the whole thing is like the movie's telling you. I mean, literally from the first minute, the kid's already running, and the guy's like, "You gotta get this over there because blah blah." And then Tom Hanks is like, "God damn it, they got us again, them son of a bitches, those evil fucks giving people news. Oh, how evil!" Like,
those bastards.
You know, the competition. Like, I can get that, but like a lot of what you're saying, it's like. I think it's like you can make a news movie interesting. It literally won Best Picture, like I think it was 2 years ago. Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spotlight's a great fucking movie, and it's all about the small news organization that's basically going against the Catholic Church, and it's fucking great. But this just sounds like honestly some pretentious bullshit.
I mean, this movie, I can understand if I just didn't like it. I get it. You know, sometimes I just don't like certain things. But this movie literally just said, you know what? We got Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. Just do your thing. I mean, there's no characters involved. I don't remember their fucking names. I literally wrote notes. I had to go back and watch the movie. I don't even remember them saying each other's names. It's fucking insane. And I do know the names now, by the way, too, because I did take notes, and it's actually on the YouTube thing and on IMDb, obviously. But yeah, like Katharine Graham and Ben Bradley. I've never heard these names before in my fucking life. So it's like, was this really that important to fucking do a movie about? Like, this is not like The Founder, where it's about McDonald's, or fucking, I mean, anything. Spotlight's about, you know, people touching kids in the fucking Catholic Church and molestation. That's kind of a big deal. That makes sense. This does not make sense. It's like, and then for one to be up there with Get Out and I hate to say it because I don't even like the movie, but Shape of Water. How is this slightly in competition of Shape of Water or Call Me by Your Name or any of these fucking movies? How?
Have any of y'all ever watched Good Night and Good Luck?
No, I never heard that.
Damn it. Because honestly, this whole thing of the Nixon era, this reminds me of that exact movie. It had like every actor ever in that. But it's basically, just about this news organization that's basically just telling the news, even though that, I think it was during the same era too. And they're getting really mad because they're basically telling the truth through the news. And they basically just kept doing it because fuck it, we're the news and you can't stop us.
Yeah, and you know, like what Julian's saying, the story's relevant. Honestly, like I get what you're trying to say. It's a connection to like fake news, and it's, you know, just getting information out there and helping people be educated in what's going on in your fucking in the world. And I get that, but like, good fucking lord, can they? You find
I think
out
the topics is like it was a big deal at the time, but now like with all the stuff actually going on in you know, the government and all these conspiracy and others, like stuff that people are hiding, like that's so much more interesting than what is going on in this movie. Like it's really it pales in like comparison to like what's actually happening. Like it's very like relevant in, you know, okay, being true, you know, telling the truth to the, you know, people through the news and stuff like that, to the truth, you know, but yeah, like just not succumbing to like pressure from any person of power to, you know, to change the news in any way to make someone like more flattering or whatever, like to actually get every single like you know, truthful like information out there to the American people. So I get it, but it's just like the actual topic is just not as interesting as like actually what's going on right now.
That's one thing I hate is when they do these movies that are based on a time period or a moment within history, and they go out their way to make it the most mundane thing ever, and then try to back out. Well, it was that historical moment, man. It was based around times. We're trying to do an allegory to what's going on now for our generation. That's bullshit, man. Make a good movie.
No, and like a biggest thing too is like around the same time that this came out, Darkest Hour came out, and I didn't watch Darkest Hour, but I'll tell you this much. I mean, they actually tried to do something with the what's his name, Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
he actually looks like the guy because I actually seen pictures. Yeah, he does look like the guy. Did a good job. With Tom Hanks, his lip is always looking a certain way, and he's trying to do this fucking accent. It is comedic. Like I thought the characters were laughing at him. He's like, "Hello, everybody, how you doing?" I can't even understand what the fuck he's saying. Like, I swear, this fucking movie, there's parts where they drop newspapers, and because someone gave him half of a story, which was like in, I guess, like 5,000 pages or whatever, and they're literally like reordering the papers on the floor. So, you know, it's shot well, but it's shot with people like literally like, oh, let me see, this is page number 20 out of 33, put that with 32, oh, fuck, shit. It's like, how the fuck can I watch this and be entertained? I don't know how. This movie's a fuck it. It is such a hard fucking fuck it. I literally, like I don't know where I would put this, like in my top 10 or top 20 worst hated movies of all time, and I don't even think I'll remember it, so I'm not gonna go that far. But like this fucking movie is easily one of the worst. This is worse than Bridge of Spies. Tom Hanks, stop, just stop, Tom Hanks, fucking A. But Allie, how about you?
Okay, I can't fully judge this movie because I only watched half of it because it was
You are sleepy ass.
I was so man, it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. I had to be up at like 8 a.m. the next day. I got through. I honestly expected to like, okay, well, this is the movie I could sleep through, Phantom Thread, and I ended up actually really liking the movie and staying awake for the whole of it. But when we got to the post, and it started out with like, oh, and everything, I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be, it's gonna be so hard to sit through. There's a point I was just like, you know what, this movie is not worth staying up past like 4 a.m. To and losing only like sleeping for 3 hours. It's not worth it. So I quit watching it. So from what I saw, yeah, it was extremely boring. It looked nice. Great camera work.
Lots of long shots where it's not edited and you're following.
Props on the cinematographer, and everything like that. I mean, it's competently directed because Spielberg is he is a good director. But it pains me because Spielberg is like my inspiration. Like he's one of the people that always inspired me with film, and I've always loved so many of his movies. But I just felt like these past few years, he's just made a lot of duds and just things that did not interest me at all, and just felt like he was kind of phoning it in. I just didn't feel like his heart was all the way in a lot of his recent stuff. So that really pains me too, because I know he's much more capable, and he's made something that's kind of boring be really interesting before. I just think this was just I don't know, some producer came up to him and was like, hey, we need to get some Oscar nominations this year. Will you do this movie? Well, I'm actually working on Ready Player One. No. How about you do this movie and, we won't kill you. So yeah. But yeah, I can't judge it because I didn't see the ending. But from what I saw, it was just so boring. It was just so uninteresting, and something that I actually thought was an interesting time in history. It just made it so boring. So from what I saw, I would have to give it an avoid it. I don't think it's worth your time. I love Tom Hanks, and I do like Meryl Streep. I'm sorry, y'all. But I think she is I think she's very talented. This was just one of those roles, though. I'm like, okay, what's different from this role than any like other like 5 roles she did? But yeah. So just avoid it. It's just not worth your time or money.
Yeah, no, and I could have not said it better myself. Other than I do want to say one more thing is Meryl Streep. UFC is not the arts, etc. They're not the arts. Well, you know what? Fuck art, because with this fucking movie, you've given art a bad fucking name. I don't give a fuck about art. Anyone who comes up to me and tells me about how fucking artistic certain movies are and blah, 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 like, yeah, you can suck my dick. I don't give a fuck. Like, make something good. Don't give me fucking art. So, anyway, I fucking hate that shit. Moving on, though, and this is something that I feel sorry for Godja because he didn't watch nothing this week.
I didn't watch none of this shit. I've read it all. I do want to challenge you on the art argument, but I'm gonna wait for a better time for that.
Okay.
He stared at a wall for 2 hours. You want to review the wall?
I was staring at the bong, just wondering, like, man, pretty soon we're gonna be over, and I'm gonna hit the fuck out of you.
Talk about abusive relationships.
I fucking love that.
Why?
I don't know.
That's gonna be a bumper one day. Just him talking his shit like, I'm gonna hit the fuck out of you.
Bumper? That's gonna be in his court hearing.
Oh my goodness. No, but
punch some of this shit again, Alan. Punch some of this shit again.
Hopefully this will be kind of short too. We'll make this as short as we can. Shut up. But Jessica Jones season 2. We're just gonna talk about episode 1. But just to start this off, I did not watch season 1. I saw like 2 episodes, and I don't remember what those were because this bitch is the most boring fucking character. God damn.
Honestly, you're okay with that. Surprisingly enough, you're pretty okay with not watching season 1.
Yeah, and for one, let me just ask you and Allie first, and I'm gonna start with you, Alan. But like, what did you feel watching this right away?
I think it's
okay. Well, I'll ask Allie because you're Jenny.
Wow.
Allie, what did you feel about episode 1 of Jessica Jones season 2?
I felt very indifferent about it. I honestly can't really form an opinion yet. I thought it was kind of lackluster, if anything. I found my mind wandering, so it didn't capture my interest through a little bit of it. So that's kind of how I feel so far. It's not grabbing me like the first seasons, but you know, hey, I still got some episodes to watch. So
yeah. And one thing I will say is I felt the same way with the first episode where I was kind of like, okay, this is not grabbing me because I don't like her. I need to get over that shit. So I'm like, okay, well, what are these other characters? I like her roommate dude. That dude's kind of interesting. I like how she keeps firing him. You know, like that's a pretty cool concept. That just makes me kind of laugh. There's a lot of good humor in here, and you know, I think this does a better job with telling the story of the city and like how she walks around a lot and she's around a lot of like businesses and shit where it really feels like authentic New York, you know. But yeah, that's the only positive thing I gotta say in that sense for this episode. But you, Alan, like, what do you feel?
It's one of those things where it's like I did like season 1. It's not my favorite, Marvel Netflix show, but it was definitely one of those things where I kind of enjoyed the tone that it was kind of going for. It was kind of different. I didn't really like her at first. She did grow on me as in season 1. She did grow on me as the season went on, but it felt like she was trying too hard to be basically Audrey Plaza in real life. But with season 2, like, I'd say it has a really rough start. Like, the first episode to me, I was honestly kind of just bored out of my mind. I was literally about to text you, yo, man, you gotta avoid this fucking show. Like, you're gonna start screaming how boring this fucking thing is. But then the second half came, and it was when she starts kind of interviewing a bunch of, these random people people come to her because they need help with stuff. And it was dealing with that crazy, like, strung out guy that's like, oh, man, I got super speed, but it only activates when I'm afraid and shit. Oh, yeah. And you're like, yeah, whatever, you're just crazy. But then when he kind of comes back, you're like, oh, wait, he actually has something. That's what got me, because I love superhero shit. So I'm like, oh, man, that guy actually has something. There's actually something going on. That's what it started picking up for me. And honestly, it stayed pretty consistent. Like, I'm about halfway through, and it's honestly stayed consistent. It's a really slow burn, but it's honestly, I think, like, the most consistent Marvel on Netflix show. It always stays about average. It never goes up, it never goes down, but it always stays exactly where it needs to be. And I think that really works for this show. Like, it does the Punisher thing of, this show is really it's down to earth. It feels like it's just a human story, even though the person has superpowers.
Well, you say that, but then, like, and I hate that scene when you talk about when everyone starts talking to her because they play some goofy music like, burr, these people are obviously fucking stupid.
Yeah, but they wanted to do a montage.
Well, of course. But, like, it reminded me of something as silly as this shit, Mystery Men, when the superhero tryouts happen. Yo, that's
what I thought of too, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I can invisible, but only when no one sees me.
Only when no one sees me. I can manifest only when no one sees me. Are we not scared?
I gotta watch this movie.
Yeah, this movie's good.
I was always thinking in my head, I'm like, so, dude, what about cameras? Is he actually invisible? I was thinking this shit in my head, but I see what you mean to a certain degree. But yeah. It was so short. It was I think it was well played for what they needed to do.
And this did it funnier, and I think this did it way better in the sense of, like, even after when that shit was happening in the show, like, it was like, okay, so why was that happening again? Oh, you need more cases. That's how you get your cases, by letting everybody go to your fucking house knowing that you're in danger, especially all the bullshit you just went with Kilgrave, etc. Like, what the fuck? It makes no sense to me. And, like, I forget if this was in the second episode or not, so sorry if I did spoil this, but it's just a 5-second thing. I can't get over the physics of some of this shit. For one, when that guy runs away and gets killed, the fast dude, it's so fucking fake. It is some of the worst CGI I've ever. It looks like The Tick or something, like, really, like, silly, like it's supposed to be funny.
I didn't really see it that, like, as bad as you did, but I thought his powers were kind of cool, and it's like, is that really, like, sorry, I probably cut you off. Is that your only problem with that scene, or?
Well, I mean, that was my problem with the scene, but with the physicality of, like, him running, and he's super fast, but yeah, he's not fast enough to jump out of a very slow-moving thing falling down to kill him. That's a little silly. And then, like, I hate to bring this up, and I know it's like, okay, now you're obsessed, but it's like, this show has this type of shit happen so often on the show that drives me up the fucking wall. But the sexual stuff, and like, it's like, I'm not even complaining that there's sex scenes, but the sex scenes are so prioritized that they get in the way of the rules they set for the characters. We brought up Luke Cage, fucking Jessica Jones, and Misty Knight, and how they both have the same reaction, even though Misty Knight doesn't have any powers yet, at least. Right. And we've discussed a lot of, like, sexual things where it's just like all logic goes out the door. And everyone tells me Jessica can control it, man, she can control it. Yeah, well, she pretty much says that she can in certain parts, and then like with the sexual stuff, there's situations where people say, "Well, Jessica Jones, she has people do stuff to her. If she's into it, if she does something, if she uses her strength or her, she flexes, she'll fucking kill somebody." There's a person she has sex, a random dude has sex with her inside of a fucking bathroom stall. She ends up having, and I won't tell you what character, but there is a character that she does have sex with, and she's on top, and she's like grabbing him, choking him, and anybody else, their neck will snap.
I gotta watch this series. I mean,
but it's like anybody else, it would break. I mean, she's literally just barely moving one muscle. She's breaking chairs, metal, fucking moving cars, etc. But this one dude, who's not a superpower guy, she's choking the fuck out of him and scratching him and grabbing his arms. No pain at all. He's just fine.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they show a lot. Like, maybe what you're thinking of is the first season, because they show a lot where this is just common day for her, just controlling the fuck out of her power. The only time where it's like she's kind of at a bar and just pissed off and cracks the glass. This is still episode 1, so we're still in there. As far as the guy with super speed, they explain. Honestly, I know what you mean. I can't remember if it was the first or second episode, but they kind of explain that, and Gonzo will get this, the amount of fucking depressants he's on. I think he's on 1,200 milligrams or whatever. And he's just thinking that, like, his power is so he's basically like, if he didn't have the drugs like dampening his system, he would be like the Flash almost. But because he's basically like almost a walking zombie at that point, he's still able to kind of do some of his speed, but it's like it kind of comes and goes because he's so strung out of his mind. So to me, it's like, oh, that made sense. Where it's like, oh shit, I can't really control it that well. That's why he ends up just getting got by that one situation. Yeah. And a lot of sex, I will agree with you. The sex, I really don't understand why they're so pronounced. Like, they're honestly, even in some of the later episodes, they go on for minutes, and it's like, you don't need to do this for this long. I honestly got to the point, I started skipping them. Oh, okay, she's starting to have sex. Skip 1 minute. Okay, good, television show. And every character in this fucking show just has sex.
Hey, you let those preteen and teenage boys get their cheek.
They're all adults.
Yeah, they're all.
I'm talking about those teenagers. You remember being a teenager, Nick, when you're trying to watch the sex scene in a movie? That's who that's for, man. That's not for you as a grown adult that has access to porn.
Okay, if you have Netflix, you already have access to hardcore pornography.
No, but you know what's so fucking annoying though? The thing that's so frustrating is,
don't even don't move the topic.
No, because the sex scene will do this thing where like, it's still Netflix, so they're like, oh, we gotta have a lot of sex because we're Netflix and we can do this, and we gotta, show blood like for Punisher, and they literally like, I don't know how the fuck Punisher's still alive. They rip his fucking face off basically, and all this shit, and the guy gets shot 1,000 times. But they go so far, but yet just that little bit that they should go far, since they're in that direction anyways, they won't go. Like the sex scenes, they last so long. There's lots of moaning, lots of spanking, the whole thing, but you don't see not even one titty. You know what I mean? So once again, you're teasing me for 2 minutes. Like, if you're gonna do the porn thing, then do the porn thing. So it's like, oh fuck yeah, that's kind of nice. Like, don't just like do it and then bore me. Like, and then for one, is sex supposed to be something that like maybe characters do this because they gotta learn more about each other or do something? No, it just happens, and then like that never happens again. Like, I'm at episode 7. It doesn't happen again for some of these characters.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, that happened. All right, great. Like. Yeah, and then as far as action, there's really no action. I mean, for the first couple of episodes, but like I said, we're talking about episode 1, and people are saying it's slow. Well, it's because you're watching a superhero movie with no superhero shit.
and that's actually kind of what I really, really like about it, because it's like, maybe it's just me, but I'm kind of starting to get numb to as much as I'm enjoying all the Marvel movies. I'm starting to kind of get numb to superhero has to blow up half the city, save the world from guy taking over the world type thing. I'm kind of starting to get really kind of bored by that mentality. That's why Civil War kind of, took it back a little bit, because it felt like a more human story. This does feel like a more human story. I'm actually really enjoying this because the stakes are high, but they're not like, oh man, she has to save the world. They're like, no, there's like this villain that shows up is fucking ridiculously strong. So it's like, she has a lot to kind of, fight for, and it's in the sense of, it feels like a down-to-earth story. Like, that's why I like Punisher too, because it felt like this was a show that just happened to be in the Marvel Universe. And to me, I really think that this does it really well, where it feels like a down-to-earth, like almost like a horror show, where it's like there's a villain that keeps kind of hiding in the backgrounds, violently murdering these people, and Jessica Jones has to kind of use her intelligence and is trying to deal with that. And I really enjoy that. there's a lot of stuff in there, like you mentioned, the sex scenes that go on for too long, the pointless characters that are just kind of around. But I think that some of the other characters, like her friend, I love her friend so much more than in season 1. Season 1, I felt like he was just there as a plot point. But with this, it's like there's actual character growth. You actually kind of show him, and it's like you see the constant struggle of him being an addict. And he's like, man, just give me something to do. If I don't have anything to do, I'm gonna fucking go crazy. Give me something to do. I'll redo your entire fucking apartment just to give me busy work.
Yeah,
and I really like that about him.
Like, no, I completely agree with that, and that's cool as shit. That I mean, because for one, I never seen, like I said, I never seen season 1. So seeing his character, I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool character. I like him, and I didn't even know he was in season 1. So I'm like, okay, so I guess there's more to him. Makes you want to go back and watch that shit, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, like the no villain thing. I'm telling you, the no villain situation lasts for a long ass time. I mean, the show's almost over, and it barely just found its purpose. So you know, like that's one thing that kind of frustrates me. The flashback stuff, the weird dream type stuff, her always being emotional, and then her laying a dude like, okay, the whole thing about Jessica Jones, she hates shitty men. She hates, I mean, you know, her being so dippy downer and whatever the fuck, like, she, you know, will say you're a piece of shit, dude, and fuck you, get the fuck out of my face.
Oh, yeah.
Then she lets a guy who, some douchebag businessman goes, hey, nice ass, and then she lets him fuck him. It's like, okay, so now that part of her character doesn't exist because now she's letting some obvious piece of shit just say, hey, bitch. I mean, she basically, in a way, if she wasn't okay with it, that's almost like sexual harassment in a way. Like, isn't that some kind of misconduct thing? You don't do that.
Basically, what it is, it's just, I think they did that badly because it's like they kind of mentioned before that scene happens, like she's just casually like getting laid, where she's like, yeah, what's wrong with the meaningless sex and getting drunk? Because it's like she's clearly in a bad rut. Because it's like she basically just dealt with whatever happened in the Defenders, fighting ninjas, and for all intents and purposes, she thinks that what's his face is gone.
Oh, Daredevil,
she thinks that she like nobody knows Daredevil's still alive. So she's like, I lost my best fucking friend, well, one of my friends. I don't give a shit about myself in general anyway. I murdered a motherfucker. So it's like she's just dealing with all this stuff, and I felt like honestly, like they should have just made the guy honestly what they should have done is have the guy go hey and it cut the sex, because I think that would have sold a little bit better. Yeah. Because I get what you mean, but like, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff happens. But it's like, to me, none of that stuff is enough to not make me want to watch the show. Because honestly, catching myself where I'm like, I'm really enjoying this. I'm just keeping it there and I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm liking this show. I really think it's really, really good.
Yeah, and really... I'm liking the show too. But it's just, once again, just on the first episode, and one thing to bring up here too, this guy's character. I hate this fucking dude, and I hate that once again because they had to tell this story to extend it. They once again break another fucking rule. She can't punch people because she'll kill them. Her whole thing right now, she's dealing with having killed somebody before. So she's like, fuck, I hate, I killed somebody and I can't take it. I'm a killer and I hate myself. She beats the fuck out of this dude. And she is like, ooh, and she's trying. She's flexing. Her face is all crunched up. She's like she basically has admitted too that she's lost full control. She's going to kill this motherfucker. Punches him hard. He's still alive. No superpowers.
Well, it's like not really, because it's like she was like going ham, but not as ham. Like she's not like Superman. She's strong, but not like
ham. You're up.
Oh Jesus Christ! Stop saying that. It's not funny. Anyway, like she's strong, but she's not. She's not Superman. So when she was going to that guy, she wasn't as bad as like she could be. She was still bad, but it was basically like that situation where it's like she's not like like when you've been mad and even in a fight. But there's a difference between you being like, man, I'm pissed off versus you're just animal. And she's not animal. When she's animal, she'll tear a motherfucker apart. But with that, it's like she's not to that level yet. She feels like she can get there. Like she even mentions like any day now, I feel like I could just become an animal.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, do you agree with some of those things though, Ali, as far as like fucking me bitching about the lack of rules they have for the physics?
Physics for that, I mean...
Or for her powers,
It's a Marvel show, so...
Okay, see, that's the thing. I can't see, and that's the thing. That's why I always get mad when people do that, because it's like, it is a Marvel show, but... So when there is something bad, like for instance, DC, like when the next bad movie comes out, it's like, well, it's DC, so it's good. Because they're all bad.
Well, no, I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just saying that, like, there's a part of reality you have to throw out the window, considering that these people have superpowers. But I'll say that, I don't know, at least for Jessica Jones, like, they never... wait, never mind. They actually did. They were starting to explain why she had those powers. So I can't even say anything because I have not watched this show as much as you guys have. So I can't say anything right now. So just I'm gonna act like Ganja over here. I'm just gonna like scurry away and.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just like for me, and that's why I hate the Marvel shows, because I had the same issue with Luke Cage, and everyone, especially Ruthless, would like, "Hey man, you know, it's they explain it right, man. Like you don't know, blah blah." And then it's like, okay, so when they do this again 3 other times, is it gonna be the excuse of, well, it's a Marvel show, so they don't have to, or do I have a fucking point? And you know, what I mean, it really just comes down to paying attention to your show. I mean, it's just like with the Force. You know what I mean? Like, I know the Force has certain things about it, and it's like you can't do anything, but it's like at a certain point, there's rules that they are breaking. So come on, you know, it just with all these shows. That's why I don't like Marvel, because you know Spider-Man has the same situation too. Iron Man does too. All of them, and this is why these shows or these movies, all these things are bad. At least like Justice League, or any DC movie, when they make a rule, they kind of stick to it. Granted, the end quality product, it's probably bad and badly acted and bad decision making on some of the things, but it's like they make rules and they fucking stick on it, you know. And Marvel has never done that, you know. And they don't have an excuse like the Force. They just have writers. Well, fucking write and pay attention to what you're writing on this goddamn paper. Like, I will say I do like this show, but this first episode was complete garbage. So if you guys get through this, please just stay on it. But yeah, I give this episode a complete avoided. This was fucking really, really bad. But I will say, and we'll be releasing videos throughout like the week on this. We're gonna be reviewing every single episode. And I will say this show actually gets really fucking good. But that first episode, yeah, it's a tough one. But you, Alan, go ahead, sir.
I'm the same way. I don't agree with a lot of what Nick's
Hey,
Jenny! Allie, what would you give this show in rating? Any last comments?
I'm not going to give it anything because I haven't watched enough. I don't like to rate shows until I've watched it all the way through. So I'm going to give it a Switzerland right now.
Okay. And Alan, once again, try again, sir. What would you rate this show?
Like I said, okay. What I would rate this show is honestly just it. I kind of have to agree with Dick. It's kind of an avoided. But as much as I like the second half of this episode, it's something I always say of you should never feel obligated to ever do. You should never feel obligated to ever watch television. Television is entertainment at the end of the fucking day. If you ever feel the need yet to force yourself to watch something, it is not worth your fucking time. I don't care how good the end product is. So it's one of those things where it's like the first episode does do stuff to set it up, but this is a bad first episode. The second episode like picks it up because it continues the tone from the back half of episode 1. But it's one of those things where it's like I do think the show is really consistently good and it's down to earth. It's something very similar to the Punisher show. So if you liked how the episode or how Punisher was, how slow it was, like, you know, deliberately slow just to get used to the character, you're probably gonna enjoy Jessica Jones just as much. So I do recommend, like, overall for the season, I recommend checking it out. First episode is kind of it's not that good.
Yeah, and once it gets to 3, 4, etc., like I'll tell you this much. I've liked it more and more each episode, to the point where now I'm like, yeah, and then something happened in season 7 where I was like, fuck.
Yo, they dropped some mad science on me, man, that I had to pause the episode and look it up, man.
Yeah.
They start talking about octopuses, people. All that is real.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Like,
I looked that shit up. I was like, what? Yo, I can't believe this shit.
Yeah, so like I said, it's really weird to say give it an avoid it, but if you are gonna watch this, stick on. Don't give up yet. It will get better. Mr. Ganjaguru, you know what else will get better, man? My segues, hopefully, when it comes to the Facebook of the Midnight Chat Attack.
It's all right, Nick. Speaking of the Midnight Chat Text Facebook, guys, check out the Untitled Video Game Show. The reason I'm not getting on Nick, because on that show, we're trying to be more professional. We're trying to have a professional setup. But, you know, things tend not to work out. I fuck up, slip up, edit things wrong, or delete some certain topics that we're supposed to conversate about, and we don't realize until the show's over. But don't let that deter you guys from coming out to the Facebook page, checking out what me and Alan do. We play some new games, nostalgia games, some classic shit. I think next week we're actually going to be playing, what is the DK? I think we are going to play DK.
DK64?
No. I think we might play DK64, unless Alan can find a different rare game that he wants to see played properly. But
literally anything.
Fuck you. But guys, make sure to check out the Untitled Video Game Show on the Facebooks every every Friday at 7:30 CST time. I got confused with the time. But come check us out, guys. And Alan, please inform people on those after hours.
Yes, so today during the after hours, basically, not really anyone's been throwing anything as far as they do want to check out there. So we'll just throw something on and see if, or at least we'll just do a vote, just what people want if a few people throw out choices. Basically, it's just me a chill one. There's no theme this time around. We're working for the next theme for the next couple of weeks, though. So we do got stuff in the lab.
And speaking of after hours, one thing, too, is when we start posting these videos up, we'll for sure put a comment on our video when we upload these, because that's the thing. It's like, and now I'm looking at this too. I had an issue doing it this way when I last time did a show. So the one thing that's kind of frustrating is hopefully this gets saved. I recorded half of it on my local rendering, but we'll see what happens. But aside from that, because of these issues, I'm sorry, people, but this will be our last live show, except for the Facebook stuff. The Facebook stuff, Ganja and Alan have.
Damn right.
Yeah, those will stick the same, and these guys do a great job with that shit. I definitely recommend watching that, especially because that's the only time Jet will show up, because you don't show up on here. God damn it, Jet.
We're her favorite show, confirmed.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, but I will say though, guys, yeah, last live show and YouTube chat. Look, I'm not even gonna give no love for the Double Toasted chat. Okay, Double Toasted chat, you guys have been fucking up.
Hey, they've been present, chatting once in a while, talking about Grits leaving and shit like that.
What are you talking about? Literally, the last comment was, "Is anyone here?" Oh no, they got a few people in there. Never mind.
No,
Yes.
Still, fuck that DT chat. No, DT chat, you guys, like, she's not even watching this right now. This person, and Cedric, how dare you cheat on that YouTube chat? What the fuck? What's your problem? They're all talking about Gertz leaving, and that's the biggest thing I want to bring up really quick too. Gertz, my boy, you are actually in the chat right now, I believe. Maybe not. I don't know. I think you're.
He was in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, dude, sucks that you're leaving. But at the same time, like, you know, I know you're not gonna be gone forever. You know, if you ever want to come into the show and chill with us, go into the chat, etc., make sure to let us know. But yeah, just good luck on your, I guess, future endeavors. That sounds so.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
May your future endeavors bring you great resources, bounty, and respect.
May the odds forever be in your favor.
Exactly.
Alec, can you say anything as dumb as what they just said?
May the force be with you.
Stay cool.
Stay true.
Fucking stay toasty. Oh,
We will not go quietly into the night.
we will. I got nothing. People, fucking shit. I'm tired. I'm tired of shit. But yeah, hopefully everyone stops being so sad over there in the chat with Gertz leave and everything like that. But the thing is, though, Mr. Ganja Guru, is that
Yes.
they won't be sad with us. Especially when they're doing one particular thing that we always tell them to do after every single show, sir. What is that, man?
3, 2, 1, attack the chat!
This is welcome to the next episode.